ladies and gentlemen, I am Sergeant Gerbil, and I humbly welcome you to the episode number 2 of Our Pal Gerbil. Before we get started, I would like to personally thank SFGHQ owner, PCO, for his extreme kindness, belief, and above all, sensibility, not just regarding SFGHQ tonight, but for the entire coronavirus pandemic. Remember, viewers, stay safe, stay isolated, and do stay clean, and you'll get through this fine. Tonight's guest is Pixy, so let's go right to chat. I'll just personally mute a few people. There we go. And Pixie, if you can unmute, let's go. Pixie, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. So if you didn't know, Pixie is a talented pixel artist that has been working on multiple projects like Freedom Planet, also Sonic Overture, and a little bit of Sonic Utopia from what I've heard. What's one thing we should know about you, Pixie, before we get started?
One thing. Boy. Sorry. I feel
No,
kind
no.
of put on the spot.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like it's a good leeway question to start picking your brain about certain things, but if you can't answer it, that's fine. Sometimes it's
Can
harder
I
to
get
do.
back to it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe
Okay.
throughout the rest of the interview you'll figure out. So let's start with the nitty gritty, shall we? How long have you been doing sprite work, and where did you start?
Oh my gosh. So I technically didn't start sprite work until I was about 12, but I started using MS Paint and just like doodling and goofing around in it when I was like 3.
Ah, so you do trace a
So
while back.
yeah, I kind of had an early start, I would say.
That's awesome.
But I didn't start working on like real sprites until around the age of 12. And around that time, I was trying to. I would have this thing where my brother, I would have him play a game and then I would have him pause it. And then I would draw the character and then I would try to translate it into pixel art on the computer.
That's definitely an idea of its time. So you've obviously gone through the process of changing different programs, different tools. What would you advise people start off with?
Um, I started off in MS Paint, but in my opinion, that kind of holds you back if you don't know all of the different tricks and tools to make it easy. I would recommend Graphic Scale if you're animating and Paint.net or Sprite.
Yeah, okay.
Sprite also animates, but if you're looking
A
for
Sprite.
like just pure pixel art, then I would say Paint.net or Sprite.
I've never heard of A Sprite ever. What even? Is that a popular tool? How long has that been around for?
Yeah. I got it like last year, I think.
Oh wow, okay. So this isn't like an ancient tool you've been using for a while. This is
No.
recent shit. Awesome.
Yeah, and it's pretty well equipped for specifically like pixel art.
Hmm. Yeah, well, that's perfect actually. So anyone looking out to start off, that's the program to start off with, either that or paint.net. Go for it. So my next question is, and it's a little bit linked to the other question, admittedly, and we kind of already answered it. But what advice would you offer people starting out spriting? What tips and tricks?
Okay. So the very first thing you need to know is you will not be good at it at first. Don't lie to yourself. You're not going to be good at it. I sucked at it when I started. But what makes you better is like you learn different tricks, you study different aesthetics and styles, and you do your best to either mimic them or like come up with your own style as a fusion of all the aesthetics that you like.
Yeah, it's fair. So then,
Um,
oh,
hmm?
my bad. Sorry, I'm used to just like pushing this interview along, but we can be here as long as you want, honestly. If you have
Yeah,
something
okay.
to say.
I just wanted to say, another thing is the most important thing I notice people seem to have trouble with this is contrast.
Hmm.
When you're working on a sprite, what makes your sprite appealing, what makes it pop, is the contrast of colors and shades. If the shades like are too similar, then it looks kind of muddy.
Hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
This is such a contrasting interview to Neo. It's wow. I need to get used to this. Um, so then we have you worked on some stellar projects. You've worked on some high profile esque projects.
Mhm.
what was the experience? What was the experience in general like working on not only such an ambitious project, but in a high-functioning dev team?
So are you talking about Freedom Planet
I'm
specifically?
I'm I'm talking about anything really. I guess Freedom Planet was the go-to example, yeah. But things like Overture, Utopia.
Well, each one was kind of a different experience, I would say. None of them felt similar, especially Freedom Planet. Like when I joined Freedom Planet, this is the first game, by the way, not the second game.
Mm.
Um, they kind of were really far along by that time. So I only had 2 months to do what I had to do, and that was basically like take all of the unfinished sprites and make them finished. And there was a lot.
Yeah.
hmm
Sick.
I kind of also have to have like animator knowledge because you have to make sure all the frames like blend in with one another and each of the details like flow. If you have to change the model because like the original base sprites were off model, then you have to do that for the entirety of the animation. And
Oh, yikes.
luckily, I practiced animation for quite a while.
Yeah, so you'd be better off in than most others. Was there anyone else that they considered? Oh, actually, I don't know if this is a question I can ask. I'll
I don't
shoot
even know
anyway.
if I can answer that
I'll
question.
I'll shoot anyway. Um,
Okay.
was there anyone else that were considering to do your role for you before you were
Uh,
considered?
I I don't really know.
Was it a process of say first in best served, or was it like they had a list of people they were considering for the role?
I have no idea. All that I know is a friend of mine, the Great Lang, heavily recommended me to Strife, and then Strife was just like, "Okay, let's give her a chance." And then I met those expectations and exceeded them. Like he actually told me that, "Wow, the sprites look so good. I might actually ask you to redo all of the sprites in the game so that they just like match this level of quality."
Wow,
And
I
I was really flattered by that.
bet that would have been amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
So Freedom Planet was a tough beast. Am I right in assuming that with the deadlines and the work to do?
Um, the first game was a lot easier. The second game actually is much, much harder because I have a much bigger role. I have a lot more characters and like animations I need to do. I have a lot more like there's a lot of background work I've done too.
Hmm.
And like it's just a much bigger role. Whereas the first game it was like certain NPCs. I did like Brevin and several bosses. I did like Spade and Torque and
And
uh it was much less to work with in the original game.
yeah, I'd imagine so. Well, I'll shoot my questions here, and if you can't answer them because of legal reasons or whatever, just don't be afraid to shoot me down. Um,
Okay.
Freedom Planet 2, the development process of that, what was that like? What is that like?
Okay. So on my end of it personally, it's kind of fast. Like you it feels like you just like have to crank out different animations and then sometimes you have to go back and fix some mistakes that you found or like the design for the overall sprite changed, so we have to go back and
Oh no.
change every single frame of that animation for every single animation that was already done. Like I've redone Lilac like 3 or 4 times by this point.
Oh my God. And that's just part of the job. You have to be prepared to go back and change
Yep.
things seriously. But you enjoy it. You absolutely enjoy it,
Yeah.
right? It's
And
yeah.
also I can go with the flow.
Yeah, yeah. So when can we expect to see your wait, is Freedom Planet 2 even out? It's
No, it's not
not.
out
It's
yet.
not. Yeah, okay. I was thinking of a different project. When can we expect to see your work in Freedom Planet? When can we expect to see the game
If
come out? Does it have a release date?
if everything goes well, it should release sometime this year.
Sick. You hear that, guys? Sometime this year. um, so with projects like Utopia or Overture, I know I've mentioned this about 50 billion times, and it's like 10 seconds into the interview. But what would the develop? I know I have some insight for the development process of Utopia, a little bit, but stuff like Overture, what was the environment like that like? And if you could describe it, that would be interesting.
It was really weird. Like so I don't mean that in a bad way necessarily,
No, no, it's all
but
good.
when when I was brought on board for the team, they like found my sprite work, and they decided I would be perfect for the role. I was even working on some like concept art of the prototype, the beta for Sonic 1 just for fun, just to see how it would look. And they were like, she's perfect. We need to get her on board.
Bet that was flattering.
Yeah, and then when they brought me on board, I saw that like the art there was badly in need of redoing. So I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
got right to work and started redoing the assets and stuff after they told me the story and the synopsis of the plot and where its inspiration came from, because originally it was supposed to be um it was a fan game of sorts. Like
Mm.
like before and after the sequel, and it was supposed to take place before Sonic 1, but it was such a weird concept and didn't fit anywhere in the Sonic series, and then Lang came on board and completely revamped it. He made it more about, like, heavily based off of the unused concepts for Sonic 1, and that sounds right at home for me, so I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of times where, like, I would throw out different ideas and they'd get shot down or accepted, and it kind of is random. You can't really figure out what's going to be used, but uh, we have a really, really cool game idea, and I there's so much I want to talk about and show, but it's currently under,
Complete
I don't know,
mess.
development problems.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's been sitting for like 4 years.
Wow. uh,
Uh-huh.
I
But we've gotten
guess.
a lot of progress since the public has seen what we released.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just
Absolutely. Yeah.
the engine's been mostly the thing that's holding us back.
Mm.
We've redone the engine like 4 times.
Oh, wow. What engine is that again? Is it?
Uh,
It's not
so
a
orig-
public use one, is it?
originally we started with a Sonic World engine, and we moved from there to, I think we moved to Game Maker, and then we moved to our own engine after that. After that didn't work, we moved from Worlds because Worlds just, it was a headache to use
Mm.
for the programmers, and um
Y-
we moved to our own engine after that because we had some ideas that we wanted to create and make possible, which weren't possible currently. So we kind of came up with this thing that would implement 3D and like palette shift on the fly. And there's so many cool ideas I want to talk about, but I can't.
Fair enough. I mean, that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah,
You know,
but the
and
idea was basically like we wanted to create a game that, it's a prequel to Sonic 1, but it's in this universe, released in 1996 on the Sega Saturn, where Sega had like a bunch more uh, toys to play around with, and like they upped the graphics, they introduced new effects, and tried different ideas.
it's awesome.
It's basically like we put ourselves in the mindset of like, what would Sega be like if they created a Sonic game project in 1996 that was telling the story of his origin
That's
and had like
fantastic.
all this technology to play around with. Sorry.
No, no, no. It's, if I'm, it's. See, my delay because I live in Australia is utterly abysmal. So if I interrupt you, don't be afraid to keep going because it's not me interrupting you. It's just I've said something
No,
and it's gone
no.
through
I
late.
thought I was interrupting
No,
you.
absolutely not. You are the
Okay.
focus point of this stream. So you should act like you're the focus point of the stream and be the attention person because that's what you are in this situation. Um, but one question I have is with Overture, does it ever bug you or does it ever cause a reaction in the dev team seeing many people bring upon the idea that it's cancelled? Does it ever bug you? Does it ever motivate you in any way? Because the general
Uh,
consensus is that it's cancelled, but it's not. Absolutely not.
well, it's not canceled. It's just it. I think in spirit, it's fair for people to say that it is canceled because we haven't really done anything with it for a long time.
No, sorry, I was laughing at
But
what a Gerbil stuff said.
it's okay. Um, we I think all of us on the team want to see it through to completion. I don't know what we're dragging our feet about personally. I think that it's just that our main programmer, Teapot, is really busy working on his game, T-Bat.
Oh yeah, yeah, we saw that Sage submission like was it a year ago or 2 years ago? I think it was a year ago. But yeah,
It
that
was a year
dude's
ago.
making strides, doing great.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I created T-Bat as kind of like a joke. Um, because like he stayed up so late, he would always fall asleep, and so I I created like sort of this game idea where the creators of said game were sort of making fun of their programmer that was always like falling asleep by like the whole game revolves around if you don't make it to the end before you fall asleep, then you just like you fall off the screen.
That's such a fucking adorable idea.
Thanks. And
Did you design T-Bat?
I did.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah, I created and designed him.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea. I thought he designed it. That's such a cute design. I
Thank
genuinely
you.
thought Teapot did it. What other things do you have your hand in that I don't know about? Do you have
Oh
like
goodness.
just gotta open the box full of things I've done for everyone else.
I haven't kept track. I've been helping friends like in and out, on and off, and like I have my own projects I'm working on. So like I'm working on Sonic Infinity with Pedro.
Oh wow! Whoa! That's like the OVA project, right?
Yeah,
That must be an honor.
it is.
Sounds awesome.
I can show you a couple if you want.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
A couple animations, I mean.
I could probably put it on stream as well if you want.
Okay,
If
they're not the highest resolution. They're like 1x res.
No, that's okay. Oh.
Just a second. Okay, so here's the idle animation. It's not sending. Hang on. There it goes.
You sent it in voice chat?
I'm saying it in the Flicky Theater.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god, that's
Thanks.
awesome! That's so cool!
Thank you.
You nailed the running animation. This is fantastic. How far is Project Infinity?
I think it's still near the beginning, but we have a there's a build of it currently.
Hmm.
I don't know how much I'm supposed to say on this.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, just tiptoeing. I understand.
Yeah, but I've been working with Pedro. We've had a lot of fun in calls. Like, here's a crouch animation. It's not finished, but
that's good. That looks like the Mini Adventures like style. I love that. That's so good.
thank you.
This is amazing, especially the waiting animation. The way you like smeared the arms is amazing.
I get a lot of compliments on my smears.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Thank
good,
you.
you know. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Now, on the topic of fan games,
Yes.
your involvement with Utopia. I'm gonna be real. I know you were on the dev team, but I have no idea what you did. So
Well,
like,
that's fair because there isn't much that I did. I don't feel, but I feel like what I did made a difference.
okay, yeah, yeah. So,
S-
fair enough.
so like if you see all of the pixelated icons, like the speed up shoes, the invincibility, the rings, the life icon, the shield, that was me.
Oh wow. So you did like all the miscellaneous visual stuff, not
Yeah.
necessarily the.
I worked with Lang on some of the like designs. Like we both came up with the idea for like in the background of Green Hill Zone, there's like these big circular bushes on the mountains. So we wanted an idea where like Sonic can like walk in between those and you can see them up close and they're basically like mega palm trees.
I see. That's
Yeah.
that's sick. That's honestly awesome.
Mhm.
And I have a question about Utopia. Again, I know this is like more about Utopia and Overture than you, but
Yeah, yeah.
with
Go
with
ahead.
with the...
I wasn't done, but you can
Oh no,
go ahead.
if you're not done, then I'm not gonna
No, I don't want you to forget.
interrupt you. No, I won't forget. I won't forget. It's all
Okay,
good.
okay. So I also worked on the like some of the flower textures on the ground.
Oh no, I remember that. Yeah, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Lang said about in the interview a
And then
few
my
years ago.
favorite part, and I think my biggest contribution was I did the textures for Labyrinth Zone, the secret area for Labyrinth Zone.
Wow,
Yeah, I even did the bump maps, which is like the thing that the engine uses to read the depth of the texture and how it acts. And funny story, I've never done that before and I nailed it in the first one.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
sick. Yeah.
Um Sorry.
No, 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 you go.
I was just gonna say, Ling was really impressed with me after I gave him the bump maps. All he had to do was like smooth it out because basically it was just pixel art, only you bear in mind that the closest point of the bump map is the brightest and the furthest point is the darkest.
Yeah.
So I basically just drew the sprite at higher res with like details that showed the depth of the tiles, and that was it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. You really had your hand in this game, and that's it shows. It really does. And with Utopia itself, what was it like? What was the experience, or what was the environment like working with Lang? Because we all know Lang's passionate about Utopia, but we don't know
Oh
how it
yeah.
got there to begin with.
Lang is like when you're talking with him about an idea, it's like he's telling you a very vivid dream he's had. And you can you can go along with that dream, you can add to it, but ultimately it's like going to be what he wants. I don't know how many of my ideas are going to make it into the final,
Mm,
but I hope that I see some at least because I think they were great ideas and he liked them too. But again, it all depends on him, and I know that it's not going to like it's not assured that my ideas are going to make it in.
mm,
But he's very strict when it comes to quality.
mm.
Sometimes he wants you to like nail the idea that he's going for, and then like I've tried asking him multiple times, like, okay, so how's this? Do you like it? Do you think it needs to change? Do you think that I need to take a different direction with it? And sometimes I wouldn't really get much feedback on that, and then so I would try to do it again because basically he'd say like, try again.
Mm.
And then I would do it again, and it's like, "Is this it?" And he's like, "No, you're further away." And I'm like, "Further away from what? I don't know which way I'm supposed to be going."
No, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not really easy for someone like me because like we were at a point where you don't need pixel art anymore. What you need is like high res textures, and I'm not as versed in digital art as I am in pixel art and sketches and stuff.
Mm.
So I'm not on the team anymore, but I was, and we'll just have to see how much like of an impact I had in the final. But like I'm really excited to see what they have, whatever it is, because it's kind of a mind-blowing concept.
Mm. So you're not on the team anymore.
Not anymore, no.
So you were just like kicked out?
Uh, not exactly. I just uh one day found out I wasn't on the team anymore.
Like,
They tried to keep me on board for a while because I like they wanted me on Sonic Utopia when we were developing it, and eventually I there wasn't much I could do for it anymore, and I felt like the stuff I was doing was just kind of like wearing me out because I don't know,
it's fair
there was a
enough.
lot of stress.
Yeah, oh, I'd imagine so. Utopia is a very, very high-profile looking project, and it's aiming to shoot above the stars. And
And it's not just that, but like redesigning the same things over and over and over again, trying to get it right. And it's like I just I don't know what to do, and I don't feel like I'm getting very good direction, and I don't like know if I'm good for this project anymore because it feels like my uses have kind of run out.
yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, like realistically, you made this decision already in your head before they did. and part of that is a good thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, you understand your
Hmm.
limits, you understand your skills, and that's some people will try and cling on to anything they can just to stay in a project like Utopia. But I think it's humbling that you know your skill set and you're not trying to push it out into anywhere else just for the sake of looking better. So
Hmm.
props to you. Props to you.
Thank you.
Now,
I
you
don't feel like I don't feel like I that's necessarily a good thing. I wanted to be part of Utopia, but I just yeah, eventually it was like I'm a pixel artist and they're doing like 3D and what do they need me for? You know?
yeah, well, I mean, again, you made that decision in your head. That's a reasonable decision. Anyone else, you could pick out anyone else, and they would, well, probably not everyone else, but a good chunk of people would like kill to be involved with Utopia, just to beta test it. So you know
Right.
you've done well. Um, Now
Thank you.
on to my next question. Um, if you had to pick, what was your favorite project you've worked on,
Oh goodness. Favorite project.
and why actually, and why is a good thing to add to the end.
I'm gonna say Freedom Planet. Specifically Freedom Planet 2. There's a lot more freedom.
Go
No
figure.
pun intended. um, but the reason is like not only is Strife like incredibly kind and like lets you I wasn't trying to make a pun, Gravy.
Your Jebel soft is just going off.
um like I've there's a lot of points where like I've like thrown out ideas like, "Oh, what if this happened?" or what if this character went through this, or what if we added like this here and, like little changes to the sprites and stuff like that. And I even got to invent my own boss, which you'll find
That's
in the game.
sick. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just opening
Um,
grapes.
I feel like Stripe's been a really good friend to me, and I like he always listens to my feedback. He always listens to my ideas, and like he even put some of them in the game. It's really cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I mean,
But
I have a grape in my mouth.
but he also like he won't tell me that that's a great idea if he thinks it's a bad one. Like he'll tell me that we're going a different direction, but he often doesn't do that. Like he's not afraid to tell me it doesn't work.
Yeah,
But also like I think I've synced so well with him on this project that we both are going in the same direction.
and that's fantastic. That's really good.
Yeah, and like I'm not a manager or anything. I'm just an artist. So the fact that he's like considering my ideas and actually like implementing them is amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, like you typically have with something like Freedom Planet, I'd assume, is that everything's mapped out.
Hmm.
Um, and just to be able to contribute to something like that and be considered above anything else is
Yeah.
is amazing to me, and
Well,
I'm
I
I'm
feel like I
very
know the
glad.
pro. Yeah, I feel like I know the project really well.
Mm. Yeah, well, I mean, you were there for the original, weren't you? So I mean, like in
Yeah.
a sense, you got to understand what the project was about in its origin. So building off of
Yeah,
that,
and in the first game, I specifically asked him not to tell me like story stuff because I wanted to be surprised when I played the game. And it blew me away, really. Like I didn't know that the stuff I was making would be going to this. And
hmm,
it's really like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but
surreal.
it's surreal, but it's like it's gratifying to know that like my work went like I started with such a great project.
Hmm.
And sure, Freedom Planet 1 had its flaws, but like we're ready to blow people's minds in Freedom Planet 2.
Very confident about that, aren't you? That's great. Very that's it's warming. It's warming to know that you're in an environment where you're not that Utopia wasn't by any means, but you know that you
Yeah,
were respected and in a way shipped you know treated like you were valuable to the project. You know what I mean? You weren't someone
yeah.
that they were just gonna drop, or you weren't someone that couldn't live up to their expectations. You know,
Hmm.
and that's great. That's fantastic. So like, Freedom Planet 2. What can we expect from the game itself, if you're allowed to answer? Because I'm really curious.
So if you've played the demo, you'll know that we've dramatically upped the quality of the art. All the sprites are bigger. There's a lot more details. We have Tyson Tan who redesigned the characters, like to bring us not only further away from Sonic, but more towards like a stylized direction that fits the aesthetic of Freedom Planet.
Hmm.
Well, specifically Avalis, the planet they live on.
That's sick. There's so much going on.
And yeah, and we have like it's not just gonna be a fixed camera. Like when you run really fast, it'll zoom out a bit so you can see more of the area around you, and it looks really cinematic and dynamic. There's a selfie mode where you can like this is something, no lie, I've always wanted from a game. I used to imagine that like you could take snapshots inside your side-scrolling 2D platformer game and just save them for later, and maybe even have like custom poses. This game does that.
Is that something you advocated for yourself for them to
No,
add?
this is something
Oh
he
wow,
just came up with.
that's awesome. Sounds like a very passionate dev team with a lot of ideas, and I'm looking forward to it. Um,
Yeah,
I think I played very minimal of Freedom Planet 1, and I probably should have played more for
it's
this interview.
okay.
But
You have no idea how many of my friends are like, they know I worked on Freedom Planet. They're like, "Oh my goodness, you worked on that." I haven't played it yet, but I'm gonna. And then I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I know. You're gonna play it eventually." And then, like a year later, they're just like, "Oh, I haven't gotten around to playing Freedom Planet yet." I'm like, "Really? No kidding."
yeah, no,
But
well,
there's other friends who actually have played Freedom Planet and they really liked it.
from what I played, it's a great game. I love it. It's fantastic. It's very satisfying to play. So
Yeah.
actually, what I might do is after the stream, instead of playing Sonic Adventure, I might play Freedom Planet instead and play through it a little bit and see how far I
So,
can get into the game.
if you remember anything about Freedom Planet, it's like a fusion between like Gunstar Heroes, Ristar, Rocket Knight Adventures, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Mega Man.
Yeah, I can see the Mega Man sprinkled in. Um,
Yeah,
it's just fun, action packed. It's fast. I don't have
yeah,
Freedom Planet. Never
and
mind.
I think this is like a big detail, even though it's really small.
Mm.
But a lot of games don't do this. The touch damage is gone. Like you'll only well, it was like this in the first game too. But I'm saying like it's a combat game, so well, it's an action combat game. So when you're up close and you do combat with enemies, then you don't take damage just by touching them. Like you take damage when you touch the hitbox areas on them, like harmful places
Mm.
or projectiles. But if you touch the enemy, you won't take damage.
So yeah,
And I feel like that makes the difference, especially when you're like trying to rush, when you're trying to like get the best time in the level.
yeah, and yeah, it's everything about Freedom Planet is fascinating, but it's not. I haven't. I think I played it a few maybe a year ago, and I think I was Steam sharing it with someone, but I need to pick it up again. And I really liked what I played. So like you guys obviously did something well. Um, and Freedom Planet 2 looks fantastic. I love the sprite art. I love the environments. It
Yeah,
looks sick.
we
And
have
the
a
the
lot of
motorbike thing.
talented sprite.
I don't know if that was in the
Sorry,
original. The motorbike thing. Was that
it
in the original?
was.
It was? Okay. Because
Yeah,
that looks cool.
Carol had a motorcycle in the original, and it was just as absurd. Like, you can ride up ladders, you can climb monkey bars, you can ride up walls, you can do all kinds of crazy things. Like, I think that Strife is a really good game designer in that, like, he doesn't let the absurdity of an idea stop him. He goes full force with it and makes it fun.
Yeah. And it shows. It absolutely shows because Freedom Planet looks like a very wacky game. Freedom Planet 2 especially. And yeah, I look forward to it. Absolutely.
But it's got a lot of heart too. Like,
Oh
it's not
yeah.
just like silliness.
Well, I mean, Lilac over the years has become a very recognizable character, which
Yeah,
is
she's kind of synonymous with indie games, it seems.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Up there with like Shovel Knight, and she's really cool.
Shantae.
Yeah, her design itself is really cool. I really dig her design. I love
Yeah.
the color choices, and it looks like a Sonic OC, but not. You know what I mean?
Well, she was a Sonic OC. She was created by Xiao Ling,
Oh,
and the character, like Lilac, Carol, and Mila specifically, they weren't created by Strife,
mm,
Steven DeDuro. Um, he asked permission if he could turn those characters into a game, and ultimately ended up going his own direction with it afterwards.
right. So like the process of this dates back to like OC territory, which is cool. Now I
You
don't
say that like
know.
OCs still aren't around.
No, yeah, no, that's a good point. But one thing I've been curious about is, Freedom Planet did start off as a Sonic fan game. Um,
It
so
did.
what what did it did you see what it looked like or what it felt like?
Yeah, I did. It was basically the same game, only Lilac was a hedgehog and the art was much less uh finished.
So same mechanics and everything, like the health
Yeah.
bar. Wow,
Only it had like Sonic sound effects as like placeholders.
that's really cool. So the only fundamental that needed to change were the character designs for it to really be its own thing.
Yeah, the character designs, the items, the interactable objects like springs and stuff.
Hmm. It looks nothing like a Sonic fan game. That's insane because it genuinely feels like its own thing. Like I look at it now and I genuinely cannot see the resemblance. And
Which is funny because a lot of the detractors are like, "Oh, it's a Sonic fan game," and
no, well,
it's like, well, I mean, technically it was, but you're sort of behind if you think that.
point to me where it looks and feels like a Sonic fan game.
I guess the fact that characters can roll into balls, but like they can't do that like Sonic can. They can't spin dash.
Hmm. Well, I mean that's very little fundamentals to relate. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I guess also like the environments being like curves and loops and slopes and like you can run on walls and stuff. That's a very Sonic mindset.
yeah, no, that's fair. But I do see more Mega Man-esque level design going on here than anything else. Um,
Yeah,
but it's cool, very cool. Freedom Planet
I think
looks
that's
sick. I just have to pick it up again.
I
um,
think that Surf could have like picked a cacophony of design elements from those games that he likes, and instead he implemented all of the best mechanics that work together beautifully. And the game is a lot of fun, and it's legitimately challenging.
mhm. Well, yeah, it shows absolutely. And
Hmm.
I look forward to Freedom Planet 2. Haven't played the first game to completion, but I look forward to the second game. Um, now, so it's safe to assume Freedom Planet is your favorite project you've worked on. Um,
Yeah, I would say so.
now this quite I don't know why I stated that, but
But
I
I
guess just
also
wrapping it up.
okay. I also really love Sonic Overture though.
Yeah, yeah,
Again, there's so many cool concepts and ideas and levels and animations that we just don't get to show.
yeah. Levels. Wow, really?
Yeah, I got to come up with an entirely new level.
And you can't show them at all.
Oh, I really want to.
Don't risk anything. Don't if you're unsure, don't do it because it's probably
I
not worth
no
it.
no. The idea is like maybe it could be used in a different project
Oh, okay. So
if we don't do Overture. But the plan is right now we will do Overture at some point. I'm curious when that's gonna happen.
yeah, it's fair enough. So my next question is a very, very broad question, and this may go on for a while. What is your most controversial Sonic opinion and why?
My most controversial Sonic opinion.
I'll give you some time to
Hmm.
think about that. It's a tough one, I know. The funny
I
thing. Sorry, go on.
I don't know if this you're fine. I don't know if this is controversial, but like I miss when Sonic like okay, I don't think that Sonic games are about like taking themselves seriously. There's a certain amount of taking yourself seriously, but we don't need like dark story points and we don't
Brooding.
need like super cartoony, colorful, lighthearted story points either.
A balance.
Like not just that. It's missing heart, and it's been missing heart for a long time.
Where would you say it peaked?
It peaked? Hmm. That depends on your perception, but personally for me, I think that Sonic 3 Knuckles and subsequently later Mania
Hmm.
got a really good job of like blending the story, which classic games did have. They weren't just like silent cartoon plots where you go from place to place. There was an overarching story in each one of the games.
Yeah, that's right. And that's an important
Um,
quality I feel about the classics as well, is that a lot of people seem to disregard them as not having a story, but with the hardware limitations, they did what they did, and there are
yeah,
zone transitions, and there's clearly an overarching story going on that
there's
people like to disregard.
cinematics, there's set pieces, there's interactions.
Exactly. And
That's
it,
kind of stuff that we wanted to kind of ape when we did Sonic Overture. Like I really wanted a scene where Sonic got to interact with Dr. Robotnik because it was the very first time they'd ever met.
yeah,
And Lang originally wanted them to like be Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3 and Knuckles style, where Sonic just stands there while the other characters interact. And I thought that was way too, what's the word? Stiff?
yeah,
Soulless? Not soulless, that's the wrong word. I thought it was kind of missing something, and it was it was the opportunity. This is the first time they ever met. What's the thing that kicks off their rivalry? So he had me work within the limitations of they could only be sprites that are used in the main gameplay itself.
hmm,
And like so no new animations to show anything. And he can only interact with the player. So I thought about a way to like meet both those standards and still have it like Sonic and Eggman are like, you know, creating friction between each other. And basically, the idea was I took his idle animation, and since I already had it done where he was like, gesturing with his thumb, like, let's go,
yeah,
I sort of had it like repurposed to be like, without changing anything, mind you, just the context. He's like, look at this Joker over here. And Eggman gets really annoyed. Like, at first, he kind of shoos him away because he doesn't know that he's like, a really talented kid
yeah.
with the ability to stomp him at every turn. This is the first time they've met, so he thinks he's just like some adorable little woodland creature, and he's like, I'm not putting up with this, and he just like kind of shoos him away. And
Mm,
Sonic's like, get a load of this guy over here, and Eggman like gets really, like, how dare you?
mm.
Do you know who I am? And then throws his wrench at him, and then like they start fighting. Like Eggman starts throwing stuff at him, and Sonic dodges it, and then like hits him. That's how the rivalry starts.
That's awesome. That's so wacky. With Eggman's design, the pajamas stuff, is that
Mhm.
something that would reappear in the game, or was that a one-off cutscene thing?
No. That's just okay. So it's Sunrise Gate. It's sunrise. It's morning. His ship broke down. He has to repair it. He hasn't even had breakfast yet. It's still in his Eggmobile. So like you come up to him, like you run into him while he's repairing his ship, and then he's already in a bad mood.
Mm.
He's wearing his pajamas. He's barely even awake. He yawns sometimes while he's fighting you. We added like a I don't remember, like a one in something chance, but there's a chance that instead of throwing something at you, he would yawn.
Mm. It's interesting. It's really cool. I love what
Eh,
you've done with Eggman and the interactions between the characters and the skips the rabbit thing. Oh, it's feel or skips? It's feel, not skips. Skips is from someone else.
Um, so I know that this is kind of a controversial opinion because everybody seems to call the rabbit that Sonic was going to be feels or feel,
Mm.
but that was actually a concept for Ristar, and I don't think it was ever intended for the bunny. I call him Kicks in reference to his shoes. But at
Kicks
the
the rabbit.
time, we called him Bam as like a placeholder because like that's what he believes he is. He's a star. Look at him, center of attention.
Mm. Bam?
Yeah, that was originally his name.
That's adorable. Overture sounds.
Thank you.
Overture is cool. I need to play Overture again. I really like the art style and I love the music. The music was just
Well,
amazing.
yeah. Sean Evans and Falk and the Great Lang worked on the soundtrack, and I basically did like all of the art.
It's fantastic. Awesome. Utopia. Overture is awesome. And
Got Utopia on the brain still.
yeah, I don't know. I'm still thinking about friggin' Freedom Planet and Utopia for some reason. Like I'm I honestly should have just given myself an hour just to wake up. But everything's been all right. Everything's good, surprisingly. And Overture, I'd love to see where it goes in future because I think that was one of the first fan games that I was really like,
You and
wow,
me
this is
both.
yeah. Um, I feel you. I feel you. It must be pretty painful or a little bit sad
Yeah.
to watch it just kind of sit there making progress every now and again. But you want it to be something big, and
Sorry, I kind of got off on a tangent. You were asking me my most controversial Sonic opinion.
no, it's good. It's absolutely fine. In fact, I encourage that. I very much encourage that. Express
Okay.
yourself. Talk about whatever you want.
Well,
Go
thank
into
you.
details. No. The thanks is mine. I just appreciate you taking the time to come and take the interview. Now, what I always felt about storytelling in Sonic 3, I mean, in Sonic in general, is that the overcomplicatedness in nature present in, say, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic 06, violently goes against what the premise set out to be. Now, Sonic, I believe, was never a blank canvas, but I believe that nothing was ever
Oh
shoved in your
no. No,
face.
no, 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 no.
Yeah, exactly.
Sonic was not supposed to be like this like mute cartoon character from a colorful world.
Yeah,
Those are just elements strictly brought on by limitations.
exactly.
But like there is a story and it's actually quite deep. Like the whole South Island like bird civilization thing that the Sonic movie brought about. That's actually an idea I've had for a long time that like birds built and lived and inhabited in South Island.
Hmm.
And like I have this whole idea with how that ties into Little Planet and Never Lake and the Echidnas, and it just
You,
there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of pieces that you can put together in a satisfying way, and I feel like the movie writers did a really good job putting those pieces together. But I'm also
hmm.
kind of biased because it's the way I did it too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you have your own timeline, don't you? You're working on your own timeline. Would you be
Yeah,
able to share
I
that with
already
us?
have it. I'm sorry.
Would you be able to share that with us and take us through it?
Oh goodness, that's going to be a long conversation, I think.
I think this is sparking perfect conversation, honestly. So like, it's up to you,
Okay,
really.
I'll try and keep it simple, but basically it's like so there was this ancient civilization which I called the Minovians, which is a fusion of like the Minoans and the like Ovian slash avians, which is like eggs and bird.
Oh, eggs and bird.
Yeah, because like the egg is the basis of all life, and so these were like this was the starting civilization.
Oh, okay.
hmm so they kind of lived in this like Grecian Empire sort of thing, but at first they were tribal.
Hmm.
They lived on South Island and they created their own way of life, which is like Green Hill Zone, Marble Zone, you
Hmm.
know? But like I'm gonna need to get my notes because I'm trying to do all this from memory.
No, yeah, that's fair enough. Take as much time as you need. I'm really interested to see like the structure of this timeline and how
Well, I
you piece
talked to
things
Triple
together.
Jazz about it before the Sonic movie even came out, and like I was talking, I was like, I can't believe it! They did the same thing.
The bird civilization, yeah, it's
Yeah,
and places like Labyrinth Zone really foreshadow that, don't they? Or
yeah.
reference that. There was
Well, and
another
also
zone
the
that really
totem
did that.
poles.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's right, the totem poles. They're like bird thingies, bird-looking things.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. I never thought about that until like a few weeks ago when it was brought up,
hmm
and it makes perfect sense. And the relevance of the flickies as well, how they're like the primary woodland creature found on the
Yeah.
island. I
Like,
always.
there was signs of ancient civilization on South Island. Someone once lived there long ago, and they had to have carved those totem poles and made those bridges. Someone had to do that, right? Someone had to build the Grecian-esque buildings in Marble Zone and the cities in Starlight Zone. Someone created the Labyrinth Zone, and I think that they did it in their own image.
Mm,
So,
would make sense, yeah.
I said they were a peaceful tribe orienting from an island once called Craterus. They were in touch with nature and regularly communicated with the gods, which the gods are canon in the Sonic universe.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait.
so
Are we talking about like the established gods, like Perfect Chaos,
yeah,
Dark Gaia?
like from Sonic, like they were even referenced in Sonic 1, I believe, but like they were heavily referenced in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3.
Wait, as in like specifically or like loosely?
Yeah, the
What?
gods. No,
Seriously?
it's referenced to the gods. The emeralds are from the gods.
What?
So I
Oh, wait,
also
so
tied.
Perfect Chaos makes complete sense then, because he can harness the
Yeah,
negative energy.
no. I believe that what they were trying to do in Sonic Adventure was a logical conclusion to like what the Sonic series was building up to. But what they did was they changed so much of it in production that it doesn't even resemble what they were trying to get out.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, the ideas behind it are really cool and
Like,
make sense.
for instance, Chaos himself is a reference to the ancient dragon that Knuckles believe laid the death egg
Oh, yeah,
when
that's right.
Eggman first landed. Yeah, but like they're not really super relatable, and like you can't really compare them.
Yeah, but
There was no reference of a flood anywhere in Angel Island, even in Hydrocity, there was no mention of a flood.
wait, the flood. You mean the one that happened in Sonic Adventure when
No, the
Spaceship
one that
Prey?
happened like in ancient times when chaos like flooded the world,
Oh, I didn't know he flooded the world. I thought he just destroyed the tribe.
something like that.
I don't know. Well,
It's
you'd
really
be more
unclear.
versed in Sonic Adventure knowledge than I would. But yeah, that's interesting.
Mhm.
The stretch and the putting the pieces together. Yeah, I reckon
Yeah,
that makes sense. Anyway, continue.
but okay. So they regularly communicated with the gods, and because of their good relationship with the planet and the gods that oversaw them, they were granted gifts to preserve the land and spread across the planet. The gifts came in the form of meteorites that landed on one of the islands the Minovians spread to, which is now known as South Island. When they were investigated by the inhabitants, sorry, yeah, when they were investigated by the inhabitants, they were naturally drawn to the strange. When the meteorites is what I'm talking about, were investigated by the inhabitants,
Mm,
the inhabitants were naturally drawn to the strange energies and harvested the precious minerals inside. They cut those raw space stones into gems to harness the bizarre energy in a controlled way. They kind of created like a 0 point energy.
mm-hmm. Is this foreshadowed at all, or like are you relating this back to a concept found in Sonic 1 or Sonic 2, or is this sort of filling the gaps in yourself? Because
It's sort of filling the gaps.
that's a cool idea. I like that. Anyway, continue.
Thanks. The gods were concerned about the attempt to gain control over the gift, but trusted the Minovians would use these newfound gems in a way that would please the gods. For the most part, they did. They also grew technologically in a very accelerated rate, enjoying the fruit that my god, enjoying the fruits that the gods had blessed them with. But they also began to seek to learn the power of the gods for themselves and copied the gifts, creating an artificial set, which are now known as the Chaos Emeralds.
Mm.
The gods were very displeased at this point and began to conspire against the Minovians, seeking to dismantle the power they had created. But with the power of the I feel like I'm reading from the Bible. With the power out of the gods' hands, it became increasingly difficult to control the Minovians. So a warlike tribe of echidnas known as the Aztecians, is what I call them, had heard tales of a race of beings that had grown to rival the gods, and believed that it was their birthright to harness this power for themselves, believing themselves to be the one civilization to rise above the inhabitants of all the planet. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
They set out to launch a surprise attack on the Minovians, reducing their proud cities, like Marble and Starlight, to ashes by activating volcanoes nearby and burying them in lava. The surviving tribe retreated to the outer edges of the island, what is now known as Green Hill Zone, where they built their new homes. The Minovians had to learn to fight back, but to their luck, it wasn't hard to develop technologies to serve as weapons and drive back the Aztecians. The Minovians began to take prisoners to persuade the Echidnas to leave them in peace, but this only angered them more. So the Minovians decided to create an underground structure to contain them, something so vast and confusing that they would never be able to escape
The
it.
labyrinth.
Which which is exactly, which is also amazing because that's exactly what the Minoans did.
Oh,
They created labyrinths to like contain mythical beasts and enemies.
right. That makes sense. Well,
Uh-huh.
cool. um, does every location have a meaning in this, or is it just Labyrinth? Because Labyrinth is the only reason,
It's
only
okay.
real.
Well, Marble Zone is the reason why it's so flooded with lava is because the Aztecians like erupted the volcanoes nearby,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, like basically woke that volcano up, and it's still active to this day.
And then Spring Yard and
Um,
Starlight are just like urbanized
those are just their cities,
product of
basically.
its time. Yeah.
That's where they lived, is what I think anyway.
Oh, they lived? You don't
Um,
think it's where people live now? Like you don't
well,
think it?
no. I think that they're kind of just like I think that there's people that moved in for sure, but uh for the most part they're not the same. Like they're in Sonic CD there's like a past version and a present version.
Mm-hmm.
Starlight Zone was not like an urban
Oh,
city
oh, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I think that people built on top of these cities.
yeah. They
But
started as the building grounds for the cities.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then Scrap Brain is obviously Eggman's.
Mhm.
And then
So
when it sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and when it gets to Sonic 2, assuming that's the next one in your timeline, how does it go from there?
Actually I'm gonna lead into Sonic CD.
Oh, okay.
So the echidnas retaliated by leading another attack, after their people were being imprisoned in the labyrinth zone,
Mm-hmm.
which is like under the island pretty much. And they used the Chaos Emeralds to like they already had pretty advanced technology by that point. So they found it easy
Mm-hmm.
to quickly like, you know, what's the word? Terraform underneath the island.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Echidnas retaliated by leading another attack, attempting to wipe out the remaining Minovians and destroy the labyrinth their own were being kept in. The gods also aided the Aztecians by cursing the Minovians to sink into the seas, and wherever they went, the islands they took refuge on would sink. Think Atlantis.
Oh. Yeah.
The Minovians, not wanting to be destroyed by the gods and the inhabitants of the planet, took fate into their own hands and used their technologies to engineer part of their island to create a miniature world to live on, that would not be drowned in the oceans.
Angel Island.
No.
No?
You're close
What?
though.
Really?
Yeah, listen. The Aztecians believed it to be a terrifying death weapon and begged the gods to grant them the same powers. The gods, desperate, obliged and granted them the materials to create the Master Emerald, the one to control the artificial and God given set of emeralds. That'd be the Chaos Emerald and the Super Emeralds, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The Echidnas also use this gem and their stolen tech and the stolen set of emeralds to copy the little planet, which is what the Minovians created, creating a floating landmass of their own to combat them. So they believed that little planet, which was only created to escape the fact that they were sinking into the ocean wherever they went and couldn't make a civilization that actually survived. Um, the Echidnas believed that little planet was a death weapon that they were going to use to wipe out the Echidnas. So they created Angel Island based off of that death weapon.
Oh. So it
hmm
was inspired. It wasn't necessarily.
Angel Island was kind of a failed attempt to copy Little Planet. Instead of like forming a planet like with a gravity that contained it, it just took a piece of land and lifted it out of the earth.
Right. Wow. It's like elaborate. Um.
I told you.
Yeah. Jeez.
So the surviving Minovians had enough and created a new set of gems to put themselves in their own pocket space that would protect them from any outside influences, even the gods. That's the time stones,
Yeah.
which basically, govern Little Planet and put it in its own like time pocket, unaffected by anything else,
I've
which is
never
also why
understood that.
time is so.
I've never quite understood that. Do the time stones freeze time or do they neutralize time?
They allow you to like shape time and I think traverse it at your own will.
Oh wow. dangerous.
Well, think about it. When you have all 7 time stones, you just make good futures automatically as Sonic, right?
Yeah, I mean, but
And
Eggman.
Eggman makes bad futures with them.
Yeah.
So you can shape reality to your will by moving through time and doing what you can in the past to, like, create the future.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that. I wish the
Yeah.
time stones had more involvement in Sonic games.
Oh, trust me, Sonic CD is fascinating.
Oh yeah. Cool concepts, amazing like
Mhm.
environments, and like it's just a wacky game that I wouldn't expect to come from Sonic, but it fits so well.
Yeah, and that's why I had to tie all this together because, like, to me, it fits perfectly. And Never Lake, the reason why Little Planet appears above Never Lake is because that's where the land came from. So whenever it disappears, gravity always tries to pull it back. Like space time always tries to pull it back, but it hovers above the ground because it has its own gravity.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's good.
But Never Lake is the hole where Little Planet was taken from.
Never like you mean like the Little Planet was kind of formed by the basis of Nether Lake, right? It wasn't like
No, the land that was Never Lake. It was um okay, so Never Lake was a part of, I believe, South Island, and then there was a huge chunk taken out of it which became Never Lake. That's what
oh
Little Planet
yeah
is.
yeah no okay I was getting confused because I thought Never Lake was a lot smaller, but it's actually like massive.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah.
It looks bigger than Little Planet, but actually it's about the same area if you turn it into a sphere.
Mhm.
Um,
Lost the
so
place.
yeah, the surviving Minovians had enough, created a new set of gems, blah blah blah. Protect them from any outside influences, even the gods. Furthermore, they had to hide the artificial set out of everybody's hands, sealing them away in their own individual pocket dimensions, protected by barriers of labyrinths, special stages, designed to keep everyone out and disorient and confuse intruders.
Mm,
Even if they can somehow manage to find them.
right.
And the checkpoints were kind of artificially created later, I think by Eggman personally,
Mm,
to like travel to the special stages,
yeah.
because like the Minovians created like these intricate labyrinths which are designed to protect the emeralds. They're not supposed to be like, some game that you have to play to get the emerald. Sonic just turns it into that.
Yeah. Right. So that's like the nature of Sonic
Mhm.
making it a game. That's cool. I like that. With the special stage dimensions, and assuming it is, it's like our own little pocket reality. It's not because
Yes.
I saw a concept explored by Archie. I don't know Archie, but the idea of like a guardian um making the special stages and protecting the emerald always intrigued me. I don't know if you know the giant panda dude from
The
the
giant
comics.
panda.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, you're talking about Feist?
I don't know if that's his name.
No, I don't think that there's some god overseeing them.
Really? That's fair enough, I guess. Cause
But
I
yeah,
always no,
sorry.
sorry, you go. No, 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 all good.
Okay, so I have an idea that ties together. In recap, the ancient bird civilization that lived on South Island and its relation to Angel Island, the Echidna's relation to the world and the ancient civilization that they tried to wipe out. Um, Little Planet and its connection to South Island and Never Lake, and Little Planet and its connection to Angel Island, as well as the special stage's connection to the Chaos Emeralds and the ancient civilization.
Hmm.
If you notice something really bizarre, um, the architecture in South Island is exactly the same as it is on Little Planet, only it's more advanced on Little Planet.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's a
that
good
tell you it
point.
was built by the same people?
I mean, yeah, elements of Tidal Tempest and Palm Tree Panic look very, very similar to Ares and Sonic One, and
Not just that, but like Stardust Speedway, if you look at the
Starlight
past
Zone.
specifically. Stardust Speedway, if you look at the background, like the
Oh, Marble Zone. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. It looks like Marble Zone.
Interesting point, actually.
Mhm.
What other areas are like interconnected between these ideas? Because I know
Tidal
areas.
Tempest and Labyrinth Zone, obviously. Um, Stardust Speedway, Starlight Zone.
Whack. No, actually, that's a bit of a stretch. Sorry, I was
It's okay.
mental notes. Um, yeah, no, that's a really good point. I never looked at it like that, but it makes sense actually,
Yeah.
especially with all the
And see,
environments.
Quartz Quadrant was like created basically to be like a battery,
Mm,
like to create energy for the planet.
massive like mining system.
Well, it's not created to mine, actually. Originally, it was just they grew the crystals there. I think that like the water in the background is like a solution for the crystals to grow in, because you can see crystals growing in them underwater.
Mm. This is
But
awesome.
the present turned into a mining facility because Eggman took it over.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point. So then you consider everything in the past to be the actual the structure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. The structures in the past are related to the structures in South Island.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I want another Little Planet game.
Yeah, same. You see?
Mm, that's so cool. Huh. I'm gonna do some
Yeah.
like research while you talk.
um. Let's see. Collision Chaos and Spring Yard Zone.
Kind
Sort of.
kinda?
Also, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why is Collision Chaos? Why does it have two horizons?
It has two?
It does.
Hang on.
Here, I'll show you.
Past or present?
Every timeline.
I thought
Trumpets knows this one.
I thought this was just the I thought this was just the lake.
What's the lake?
The second horizon. Wasn't it? Oh, no, there's one at the top, like the very top, isn't there?
Uh huh.
At the very top of the map, there's like an extra. Yeah, okay. I get it. Hang on. I'm gonna because the description of Collision Chaos said it was like a lake like in forest environment.
Drawbits really wants to say.
What?
Go
He
ahead.
wants to. You can unmute and say it if you want. Nah, nah, you can do it. You can do it, Dorbits. It's all good.
Go ahead.
I formally invite you to say something.
All right, I'll explain. Actually, I'll just show you a picture and then I'll explain. Just a second.
That's
Okay.
so cool.
So my idea, and this is what I believe is also true, that horizon is like Earth, and that's never lake you're looking at. So
Wow.
I did like my own version, sort of. It's not done.
That's very trippy. That's cool. I love that idea. Like it's
Yeah, but like you're
directly
looking up.
directly above Never Lake.
Uh huh.
And
Because
it's
collision
perfect.
chaos is facing down, and it doesn't really rotate because like the planet's chained to the mountain.
Mm.
And the reason that like I know people are gonna ask like why does it look different in the future and the past and stuff. It's like two things. One, limitations, like tile limitations. But two, they tried very hard to make it look like just generic mountains, no buildings or anything, with a lake horizon. So I think what you're doing is since you're inside that time bubble, you're looking out through a lens into the future or the past on Little Planet. But if you leave that, you would be in the present again because, you don't change time zones on Earth.
Yeah. You know, Collision Chaos has always intrigued me because it's very hard to pinpoint what exactly it is.
Collision Chaos?
Yeah.
Lane told me that like it's got two horizons because it's like really warped, but that doesn't work for me because wouldn't gravity change if you were
At a
towards
high
the
enough point.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like it works with my idea because no matter how high you jump, you can't jump high enough to leave the gravitational field of Little Planet.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
You'd have to like launch yourself at the ground and then you'd be like hurtling towards it.
Yeah. So the wiki says that it's like a mechanized forest with like a casino sprinkled on top.
Yeah, that's the background.
What? I can't. It's hard to see though. Like I can see the casino elements kinda, but like it
On
looks.
Collision Chaos, like specifically like on Little Planet,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
they built. But what they're showing up above is like that's Never Lake. And then those are the mountains in the background. Notice there's no cities, there's no mechanized forests or anything. It's just like it's just foliage and
Yeah.
water and mountains.
With a casino. Well, I guess it's kind of like that's pretty much like Spring Yard. Except Spring Yard has like just random cities sprinkled out throughout the background, but I guess they hadn't had enough. Well, I mean, I guess you can change elements of like architecture and stuff. So it is interesting to
Tech
see like the evolution.
okay, Techno in the in the comments in the chat, yeah, said something interesting. Maybe the birds were the Babylonians from the Sonic Riders series, which is amazing because I actually tied them into the lore as well. But like it's a classic version, if you don't mind.
Mm.
So they're basically like descendants of the Minovians. They're birds after all,
Mm.
but they're a direct line of the Minovians. Like there was a civilization that managed to survive the being sunk, and it was their like origin island, Craterus. Just a
Criteris.
second.
How long have you been
Did you have
working
anything
on
you wanted
this?
to say?
How long have you been working on this timeline?
This theory?
Y-
Oh goodness. Okay, so the ancient bird idea, like the bird civilization idea, I came up with in like 2009 or so, 2008.
Jesus.
But all the like the Angel Island, Little Planet, Echidna, Minovian parallels that came around about 2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. I love CD because it's so like
I
it's
know.
strange with its
People give it
environment.
so much crap because it's like, oh, it's so overrated. But like, no, it's really not. There's a lot of cool stuff in it
It's,
that people just don't really bother to look into, and I think way too much about.
it's so abstract though. Like especially shit like Wacky Workbench. Like what?
Yeah, I like that though. Like, okay, the reason why it feels so different to play, I believe, is because you're literally on an alien world.
Yeah.
Things are different.
But it's still Sonic, you know what I mean? Like it's still Sonic-y.
Yeah,
Like it's not like it journeys out of the realm of being a Sonic
it holds on
environment.
to its identity.
Yeah. Just amazing. I want more zones like CD. I reckon Mania had very CD-like zones that I really like.
Oh yeah, they crammed as much of Sonic CD into Mania as possible, which makes me believe that they really liked CD.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Taxman did do that. Oh wait, Taxman wasn't part of the dev team, was he? He just made the engine. Is it? Can anyone confirm
Um,
this?
he was part of the well, not the original CD. No
No,
way.
no, no. I mean, Mania.
Um, he was definitely part of Mania.
Oh, okay. Because I thought he made the engine, and then and the physics, and then that's as far as he went. But I can't remember.
I'm gonna have to open Google
Yeah,
Docs to find these pictures.
that's fair enough. No, I'm glad they took elements of CD. Really, I reckon CD has easily the best aesthetic in the franchise.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm really happy that you like it because like it's my favorite Sonic game personally.
really? CD.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you have a favorite zone from CD?
Do you?
I do, but
What's
you
your
have to guess
favorite?
it.
Um, give me a second. Quartz Quadrant.
No. Good guess though.
Am I close in like zone transition?
Very close.
I don't think it's Wacky Workbench. Tidal Tempest.
I like Tidal Tempest, but it's not my favorite.
Collision Chaos.
You're getting farther.
Collision Chaos is my favorite stage, honestly.
Cool.
It's not Stardust Speedway, is it?
It is Stardust Speedway.
Fair enough, I guess. It's cool. It's a cool design. I don't like how it's overused.
Okay, so here is my rendition of Jet, Storm, and Wave. I'm making it public.
Whoa! That's sick.
Thanks.
The Quetzal.
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 Yeah, Jet doesn't look like a hawk at all. I think he looks way more like a Quetzal, which is like flashy and show-offy, just like him.
Oh, and Storm does not look like an albatross, so like that works perfectly.
Yeah, he's an owl to me.
That's amazing. Who's gonna make the fan game with these then? Who's making the Sonic Riders-esque classic fan game?
Well, I
with
was
players?
gonna, but like I don't really have. Oh goodness, those are made like 2 years ago when I came up with this idea. Here's some concept art if I can make it work.
Let's have a look. What's your favorite Mania zone?
Favorite Mania Zone. Stardust Speedway.
Okay, new zones.
No, I literally squealed when I saw Stardust Speedway made it in.
Oh, it's fantastic. Stardust Speedway looked so good in Mania.
I know. I really wish they put the good future in though. That's my favorite timeline, with the past being second.
Okay, right? So, what I'm a little confused about, and you might be able to answer this question, is, and I know this has been going around like crazy, but Stardust Speedway starts in the past.
Mhm.
Or did someone
Okay.
go back?
I think I know what you're getting at.
It's
like,
hard to, yeah, you get what I mean, right?
Yeah, but so also I'm not really proud of Wave. I think she's gonna get a redesign, but I like her hair.
I think it's cool. I
I'm
think
talking about my concepts, by the way.
Storm is really cool.
Thanks. I took inspiration from a barn owl and old man owl from Sonic OVA, and also the Labyrinth Zone tiles.
Silent and deeply loyal. Finally motivated.
Yeah, he's not like a big dummy who gets flustered when he like has to think too hard.
Yeah.
But basically he's like in the same family as Old Man Owl, essentially. Not like related necessarily, but like maybe?
Yeah, I kind of like how Storm's a dummy though.
Oh, I forgot his necklace in the sketch. Dang it.
Anyway, where were you?
So we were talking about Stardust Speedway. Like, here's what I think personally is happening. Sonic Mania is all about growth. Like, you see Sonic's abilities have gotten much stronger. Tails has got much stronger. Knuckles, Mighty, Ray, although you didn't really ever get to play as them in a real game.
Yeah. The premise is still there.
Yeah, but like you can see like Sonic's abilities have grown. Like when he's Super Sonic, he's basically as strong now as Hypersonic was in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Super Tails can go super without the Super Emeralds. He can just use the Chaos Emeralds. I think that Sonic traveled to a point in time in Stardust Speedway on Little Planet where the present is building in, sorry, where the past is building into the present. Like it's in a transitional period between past and present.
Right. Okay. So
And the same for Metallic Madness. You enter in the past while it's building into the present, and then in Act 2, you're going towards like the present that's building into the bad future. But in Act 2 in Stardust Speedway, I think you're like the place is building from the present into the good future, but it also could go to the bad future. They kept it sort of vague.
yeah. So
Except in Encore mode where they just straight did it like building towards the bad future.
Oh yeah, but Encore mode kind of isn't canon.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I mean, unless there's evidence to prove it's not, it's kind of just many.
I want to believe it's canon because it basically just writes forces out of existence.
That's the idea. But well, are there any evidence pointing to the fact that Stardust Speedway is changing to the bad future in like the architecture and like the changes?
Yeah. Like you can see the buildings that are like they look more bad futury and like the the decor is turning more like good future. Like I think it's supposed to be like the split between. It could go either way.
Right, right. Because it does look a little
Also, the
more.
music is more. Also, the music is more good future and sparkly. Go ahead.
The roads look a little more futuristic than they did in Stardust Speedway
Huh?
F1 in Sonic CD.
Absolutely.
So that's cool. I didn't think of it like that. Um, so does that mean that the canon future, if we're taking Encore mode to be canon, does that mean that the bad feature in Encore mode is the canon future for that Stardust Speedway?
Uh, no, I don't want to believe that because I worked really hard to get the time stones.
No, yeah, that's fair enough.
And
Um,
also, I really love the good future aesthetic so much.
oh, likewise, I think it's a lot better.
Hmm.
It's underrated. It's really underrated. The good future looks amazing in Sonic CD.
Yeah, they
Uh,
all do.
yeah, Metallic Madness looks amazing in the good future.
And the music in the Japanese soundtrack for Metallic Madness, oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. And have you heard the US soundtrack for Stardust Speedway, like the good future version?
I have. I think it's kind of it doesn't fit at all. It's more like it almost seems to me like they were like scared of it sounding too pretty and they wanted it to sound more cool.
Like yeah, heroic
But
sounding.
like the pretty, peaceful, like I don't know, it's like this really calming music.
Yeah,
But it's also like celebratory.
yeah,
They
exactly.
hit the perfect mark in the Japanese version.
Yeah, I
Also,
agree.
here's Craterus, the crescent island that they came from.
Oh, that's cool. Tuttle Chan.
You can also tell that some of that handwriting isn't mine because like a friend worked on it with me.
Mm, that's awesome. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, I think we've had
Oh,
enough
I
talk
also
about.
don't call them. Sorry.
No,
Really
no, no,
quick.
it's all good.
I also don't call them the Babylon Rogues. I call them the Tidal Trio. Tidal.
I see. That's cool. They don't have links to like. Wait. Did you
It's
say
also
that
more
these?
90s.
Do these have links based blatantly to South Island, or are these where are these guys stationed?
Craterus is like on the other side of the world, pretty much.
Okay,
Sonic and Tails and Knuckles like go on an adventure to this place.
that sounds so cool. Imagine an adventure on Craterus with new
I
zones and stuff.
know. I have a game idea for it called Sonic Riptide, but I I don't know if it's gonna happen.
You should definitely get up a dev team and do that. That'd be sick.
I'm not a programmer. I'm just an artist, so I would just be making the assets for it, and that's kind of it.
It doesn't matter. I mean, get your idea out there as long as you're contributing. Um,
Yeah,
but I think we've had enough talk about the timeline. I didn't realize we'd actually be talking about it for this long. But
I
that
told
is
you it'd be a long time.
yeah.
I
All
warned.
right, fair enough. You got me there. But it was interesting. And now that we're up past
Thank
that,
you.
um, I want to ask you, what is your favorite? Oh well, why is CD your favorite Sonic game?
Uh, Aside from all the reasons that I told you, like the possibilities for this game, like the pieces that they set up, the executions that they had, like the art style, the music. I think everything just like it speaks to me, and
Yeah.
I even wanted to make my own fan game on CD called Tiny Flower Garden,
Oh,
where like the mystical flowers that like grow everywhere in the in Sonic CD, you know the ones, and like Badniks
yeah, the ones that
pop
come
and
out of
they
the bad
release
mix.
flowers. Hmm.
Yeah.
And in the good future, they just rain from the sky.
Mm.
I wanted to create sort of like a flower a life game
Mhm.
where like these flowers can grow in all sorts of different areas, and if you move them to different areas from those places before they fully mature, you can create all sorts of fun different combinations, and you can grow it in different gardens all over Little Planet.
You're really passionate about Little Planet and CD.
Heck yeah,
That's
I
great.
am.
That's good. That's really good. CD did a lot of things right. It did a lot of things right, and I feel
In
like
fact, I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go. It's all good.
Well, you said I feel like. Continue.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like CD is one of those games that had everything going for it except the level design.
Yeah, unfortunately, the level design was kind of not good.
Not good.
They
But it's
fixed it in Mania. Like the way that it happened in Mania, I think what they should have done personally.
in CD. Yeah, I reckon like I'd love to see a CD, a continuation of sorts. You know what I mean?
Well, this would be sort of like an unofficial sequel, my idea.
Yeah.
But again, I don't have really programmers, and the programmers that I did have are working on other projects. So it's kind of just all art assets and a lot of it.
Well, you know, there are people that watch this stream, and there are people that'll inevitably be interested in your idea, and I think hold on to it absolutely because you
Yeah.
never know. And yeah, so I think it's fantastic that you like CD. I think it's fantastic that you're willing to express how much you love CD and you know massive ideas behind it. And yeah, it's sick. It's really good. Um,
Thanks.
so this is a bit of a random question, but what would you say your biggest influence for you would be? Influencer, or maybe something that's inspired you to where you are today?
Oh goodness. There's a lot actually. I was really inspired by like Nights into Dreams. Obviously Sonic.
Yeah,
Um Naoto Oshima was a huge influence on my art style in particular.
mm. Oshima's fantastic. CD was like
Hmm.
his love child, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
There's quite a few others, but I wouldn't be able to tell you at the moment because I can't think of them.
Oh, that's fair enough. Is there any game
But like,
or piece of media that's inspired your work other than CD?
well,
Or
Knights again, Shantae, Ristar.
you're a big,
I like really colorful games with heart in them and like fun concepts to play around with.
yeah,
Like really intriguing worlds and fun characters.
absolutely. And as someone who is a fan of the classics yourself, when many are released, that would have been a big nudge for you, I'm assuming, to know that there are people that share these ideas and beliefs with you. That you
Yeah,
know how.
honestly, when we were just like oh goodness, when we were working on Sonic Overture, we kind of thought we were like the only ones that, well, maybe not the only ones, but of the few that seemed to like want that sort of thing again, like the thing that made us fall in love with Sonic to begin with.
Yeah, rightly so, rightly so. And for the last question, I'm gonna ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you picture yourself? Where do
Are
you
you
want?
my boss?
Where do you want to be? I'm asking the questions that matter.
Where do I want to be? Um, let's see. I've always wanted to work on a AAA game somewhere down the line.
Hmm.
Like, my friends Murasaki and Lang got to work at Way Forward, which is I'm a little bit jealous because I really wanted to work on a Shantae game for a long time.
Yeah.
And they're not working on Shantae, like they're working on River City Girls and another project that they can't say anything about.
River City Girls? I'm sorry, what?
You don't know River City
No?
Girls?
What kind of.
Flood
Excuse me?
time.
Hang on.
Okay, you're looking it up then.
Oh. Wow, this game's gotten like really good reviews.
Yeah, it's from what I've heard. I haven't played it. Um, it's a really like it's Way Forward. Like they always put love into their work, and that's kind of why I want to work for them. Like not only do I love the aesthetic and the worlds that they created and the characters that they created in like the Shantae series, for example, but I feel like my work is like a perfect fit for them.
Yeah, I see it. I honestly see it. And you should absolutely pursue that because I
Yeah,
reckon you'll make it. I reckon you'll make it to the point where you want to be because you have a lot of passion. You know what you want to be and where you want to do what you want to do in the next 5 years or 10 years
hmm,
or whatever. And if you'll just persist at it, absolutely. I can absolutely see you
yeah,
working at Way Forward. And Way Forward is such an awesome company as well. I've They're
Oh yeah,
relatively, they've really blown up with the release
they
of like
ooze
Shantae and
fun and
stuff. Yeah.
creativity, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I really want to work for them.
yeah. That's absolutely fair. Um, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. You know, you're a fairly big name in the community, whether you
I
like to
wouldn't say
believe it on
that.
whether you like to believe it or not. And yeah, I just want to thank you for taking the time. You know, and I want to thank the audience for dropping by. We're going to be streaming some Sonic Adventure since I don't have Freedom Planet. But I'm
It
going to
was an
take.
honor.
Yeah, no, it was great to have you on. So if anyone's interested in Pixie's ideas for a Babylon Rogue-esque game with Sonic, hit her up. You know, start a dev team, please, because I want to see it go
Or
places.
Tiny Flower Garden
Yeah,
because
yeah, Tiny,
that's
that's
one
right.
I
Tiny
that's one I
Flower
really want
Garden.
to make too. Like, in fact, before we go, I want to show you a few more things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what I posted is a time of day transition in Stardust Speedway Past.
It's very
It
cool.
goes the full It goes the full cycle from night to day.
It looks very very Greek
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the opening part.
Oh goodness. The background, I actually took inspiration from the place where I live. I couldn't think of what I wanted to do for the tiles in the background, but then I finally got the inspiration in the place that I was living in at the time.
Mm.
And then another thing is, I had these like, let me really quick shop. What time of day? So, the idea was you could spend day and night in the gardens, like in Animal Crossing, pretty much,
Yeah.
and you could just around the clock. It would be set to your real time, like your clock, your internal clock, and it would reflect what time of day it is. There would be different weather effects like snow and rain,
Sounds
and
awesome.
those could affect your flowers. Yeah. But also there's like platforming elements because you have to gather materials, but you can go into garden mode. So here's a shop concept idea I have. It's made out of tiles from like Palm Tree Panic. And that's Sarah from Sonic OVA in it. Although her face is like not that's like a not good one. Here's old man.
No,
At
that's
nighttime he would take over.
ooh. Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's cool. Holy shit, the fucking OVA. That's awesome.
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into this.
Clearly.
Here's a butt ton of shop items that you could get.
So you've done a lot. Like this isn't something that you've just had on the back burner. You've done active
No,
work on this.
I've been wanting to make this a reality for so long, and I've had friends who were like working once upon a time with me to make a build, and that just never really happened.
That those rings, those special ring things. What do they do?
Oh, good. Okay, those are artificial, like special stage rings. This is all just basically decor, but some of it has like different functions. Like the mermaid from Tidal Tempest is gonna sing, and the Eggman one does the same, but it does it off tune.
That's
The
awesome.
fish tank has like fish swimming around. It's from the good future. Like, so my idea for these items is you get one item from each location at each different time zone. So those rings are like what you get in Metallic Madness. You get a present one, a past one, a good future one, and a bad future one. And
Oh,
yeah, they're made from like you notice they get more and more
yeah,
sleek
yeah.
and
Match the
like
color palette.
realistic, or not realistic, but more like a natural big ring over time.
Yeah.
It starts with the present, which is like the midway point, and then the past is right below it, which is like really clunky, and it doesn't float. It just kind of spins on the ground.
Oh, okay. And then
Hmm.
the white one
That's the
is
good future.
that's very slick, very futuristic looking design.
Yeah. And the bad future's all rusted. You can't take like it's not really taken care of very well.
Yeah. That's awesome. Holy crap. Who like that's such a unique idea.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And then like the radios, I put that in a teaser that Mr. Lang actually helped me create for Tiny Flower Garden. If you will check it out here.
Oh yeah, just shoot it down.
And then we can like, you know, um, end the interview if you want.
Oh, I'm just admiring the thing real quick.
Okay.
These are really cool. These are really cool.
Yeah.
This is an idea that you should definitely continue. Not that I'm Like,
But
wow.
this is what those radio sprites look like in motion.
Yeah, that is awesome. There's no other way of saying it. That's just fantastic. That's such a cool idea.
Thank
I
you.
never thought of that. Like, that's such an awesome idea.
That's
Um,
why I want this to be out there, because it's like, oh, it'd be so cool.
yeah, well, I mean, like, get it known. Make sure people know it because it's such a cool idea
Yeah.
that definitely deserves
I kind of have
realization.
a bit of a habit of like keeping things secret for the sake of like, surprising people, but that doesn't help me at all, I've noticed.
Well, I mean,
It just it just
sorry.
kind of makes my work just not known.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good point. You know, you're surprised if you have a massive audience. You don't really surprise if you're working on something and you're a small time, say, fan game
Yeah.
developer. And I've always not understood why small dev teams will come out and be like, no, we're hiding the game. We're hiding the game from people. It's like, you know, you need all the help you can get, and you want it to go far. You got to make people know
I
about it.
also want to surprise people, just, all right, here's the shop for the present. Here's the shop for the past. This is Palm Tree Panic, by the way.
Yeah,
The good future and the bad future. And the water is discolored because actually no, it's not. It's not discolored.
that's so cool. I love how you've matched the art style perfectly as well.
Thank you. Yeah, that's I really excel at the Mega Drive slash Genesis style.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Um, so anyway, thank you very much for coming on the show, Pixie. It's been fantastic. I've learned so much today. It's unbelievable. I'm
It was a lot
enlightened.
of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And so thank you very much for coming. Thank you all for
Thank you for
watching.
having me.
We're gonna go play some adventure. But for the time, I woke up like an hour ago. I haven't had a shower. Or haven't eaten. So I might be maybe like 15 minutes quickly. Um, so I'll join general chat. Pixie, you can feel free to join unless you've got something else to do.
Okay.
So see you guys there. And I'm just gonna go do some things real quick. Just prepare myself, just because I feel really tired and I should have a shower. And I'm surprised at how well I held that interview. So yeah, see you guys in a bit. I'll play some music. If the counter timer goes down, if I'm not back by then just hold out, programmer. Hey guys, I'm back. I'll be going back to chat in just a second. I just need to install Adventure because I was really disorganized with everything. And I formally apologize to you for this because this is worsened the experience a little bit. I should have been more responsible with my time. I should have been more prepared, and for that I'm really sorry. And I will improve for next time. So, heads up. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna play some Adventure. I reckon the interview went really well. I reckon Pixie's a very cool person. Learned a lot about her passions as a content creator. Thought it was a good interview. I could have been a little less socially vain, I feel, but no, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. And I love doing this. I think this is a really cool thing. And it's something I've been wanting to do for a while. Actually, I've had this idea has been dating back since about a year. I've always loved SFGHQ and I've always loved the people, and I wanted to be more involved. And in a year ago, I wouldn't even thought this would have come to fruition. But I'm so honored and I'm so touched that you know the mods and PCO above all has belief in me, because it does mean a lot to me. And I hope you guys are really enjoying it. Feel free to leave any critique. Feel free to message me, um, or tag me, asking for a friend request because I don't accept them from randos. Just giving me critique, throwing around ideas. I'm very open. You're the viewer. At the end of the day, you're the one that needs to be happy, regardless of who I'm interviewing. So yeah, and at the end of the day, Gerbil is, Gerbil. Our Pal Gerbil is a celebration of great people. It's a celebration of Pixie. It's a celebration of Neo. Um, and yeah, I just want you guys to know that it may seem like I'm sort of sucking up to them, but I am, because I want them to know that they're valued members of the community and that they're legends. That's what this is all about. Um, so I might as well mention now we had planned next week for Matter to be a part of the the show, but due to some complications, we decided that we'll go with a different member. Um, so yeah, leave some suggestions maybe. I don't know. I'll talk to some people, see who I want next. Just surprised at how well this has gone, how consistent this has been. And I want to thank you all for dropping by. Oh, I'm not done yet. We're still playing Adventure, but I want to thank you all for your kind support. Um, just for giving me a chance, really. I love the idea of a talk show. I love the idea of talking to people, learning about people, talking about myself, teaching people. Just love it. It's fantastic. I'm gonna unmute, and hopefully the chat isn't like loud and unbearably high volume. um, so yeah, here goes nothing.
Master Emerald, and then suddenly there was a keen sound and he passed out, and suddenly the emeralds were gone, right?
There was a what?
There was like an explosion or something. Like he only heard a keen sound and his body floated and then he passed out, right? Remember that?
Are we
Wait,
talking about the Japanese lore?
Yeah, Japanese.
Okay, yeah.
wait, he passed.
So,
Okay.
it says that the emeralds were with him, and then they suddenly disappear. But then Sonic comes to the island, and takes the emerald from him. So what's up with that?
Oh boy. So I believe that Sonic has the artificial set of Chaos Emeralds that the ancient, like the Minovian civilization created and then scattered because he collected them from South Island special stages, right?
Yes.
So he had them with him all the way through Sonic 2 as well, but he found a seventh one.
I always, what my theory of my like understanding of it was always that like there were 6 emeralds, like when like South Island and West Island were one piece of land, right? So like when we split, 6 of the emeralds stayed on that land and one of them stayed on the other land. When Sonic collected them all in Sonic 1, he scattered them and they decided to call back to the last emerald that was in West Side, and that's why in Sonic 2 collect them all over again. But this time you have the 7th one because you're actually on West Side Island where the emerald
Right.
was. So, but the thing is, like, you saying like you said those were fake emeralds?
It's possible. They could also be the real ones, and the ones that Knuckles had were the fake ones.
Alright. So, I was actually talking about this with David the Lurker a little bit,
Mhm.
and one thing that we kind of theorize is that there are 2 sets of emerald, and there there is an
I've heard this
old
one.
Sonic-free manual translation that is less accurate, but if we to believe that it is somehow, but I don't know if it's more accurate. It's actually translated way too more accurately, and that's why it's kind of weird to read. But it implies that there are actually 2 emerald altars on the island.
Okay,
One,
Barack, that's literally what I said. I said that
I
there's 2
don't remember
sets.
you. Wait, you said that during the interview?
Yeah,
Oh, but there's a good chance I didn't pay attention to
the
that part.
artificial set were the ones created by the Minovians to try and like.
Gerbil, why did you freaking doze off during your interview?
Huh?
I'm
What?
just not very good at paying attention. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Oh, I thought you said
Whatever.
me.
I
Never
I
mind.
can't really complain. I did the exact same.
Alright.
Pixie, I forgot to ask. You didn't answer the first question. What are some
Just-
things people should know about you?
Oh no, you're right. I forgot about that. Well, I mean, I guess,
We've been waiting the whole time.
you know what? I guess I explained in that, like, that's how I started spriting. Was the whole like I had my brother pause the game, and I would draw whatever it was I wanted to draw, and then I would try to translate it into pixel art.
Oh, no, I mean, like, what's one thing someone should know about you?
Okay.
I'm surprised at how quickly Neo answered it. Like, Neo just answered it as soon as I asked it, and I was genuinely surprised, because that's, like, a hard question. And, yeah, I'm so surprised that Neo was just able to answer that instantaneously. I would have been sat here for ages.
Sorry, I forgot to get back to it, I guess.
Nah, it's cool. We pretty much get the gist of it. I was just thinking about it while I was making breakfast. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to ask at the end.
You're fine. Just
Breakfast, you say?
Yeah.
I would
God.
assume the answer would be the amount of Sonic lore that she has come.
yeah, there you go.
I say, oh my god, but
We'll be starting in a second, by the way. I just didn't install Adventure because I am a dungus and I wasn't prepared.
good job.
Yeah, right? Oh, wait, that's
Grade
not...
A stuff right there.
Sergeant, you're welcome.
Huh? Oh, yeah,
Meeting's
thank you.
first-
I'm honored. I'm really honored, actually.
Oh wait, Pixie, I just realized something. I don't know if you mentioned this in your. I don't remember if you mentioned this in your interview, but like,
Uh-oh.
you did said that there were no like mentioning of the flood and whatnot.
There wasn't
However,
really a mentioning of the flood in Sonic 3
Not-
anywhere.
Not on the flood itself, but one thing that I find interesting is how Knuckles mentioning a legend about a dragon and the dragon egg and whatnot.
Brock, you weren't paying attention to my interview at all because I
Yeah,
asked about that.
I was not there halfway through, so
Mm.
I was busy
Yeah,
pretending
you
that I
could.
know guitar.
And I also said that like Sonic Adventure definitely seemed like it was trying to be like the logical conclusion to what the Sonic series was building up to in terms of storyline, but they like they changed way too much of it during development, and it didn't really resemble what they were trying to originally do. Like Chaos is supposed to be that dragon that Knuckles believed laid the death egg
Yeah,
that his people told him about.
right.
Mhm.
But like Chaos isn't a dragon, not even close.
I mean, he kind of looks like a dragon.
No,
They
Not
could've mistaken
really.
him
He
for-
looks
Not
like
really.
a giant serpent to me.
He's
Listen,
like a
man.
sea serpent, which if you have to go by like I say biblical ways, because sometimes serpent could be referenced as dragons.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's also if you grant that the whole gimmick of giving Chaos a Chaos Emerald changes him from like a weird Chow thing into a giant serpent. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just
Sonic is weird.
Dude,
Sonic is
like,
weird.
Dude, he's fucking blue. He's like weird. Hedgehogs are brown. What the heck?
Exactly.
But what I'm getting at is like
Wait, this hedgehog wears cool red shoes? No, next you're gonna tell me he runs fast. What the hell?
he has
I wish
little
hedgehogs
little
were real.
gloves.
I just wish hedgehogs were real, okay?
Dude,
Hedgehogs
I
could
have a
be real if
hedgehog
you
in
make
my
them.
house.
Right?
I can't trust him anymore, though. He's probably gonna steal my chili dogs, man. I had those for. Oh, wow, you really like that one.
No, this guy.
Bless you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, someone went out right there.
Nah, it was me. I've got the sniffles.
Oh, dude.
Uh-oh.
No, I've been isolated. I'm not sick.
Alright, good. Make sure you wash your hands like double.
Yeah, we have a alcoholic, like a hand wash, so we're pretty much safe.
But thank you all for listening.
No, it was fantastic to have you on. I'm
Thank you for
wondering,
speaking.
I'm
I'm
wondering
listening
if
to the stream earlier, like in the background when I was just drawing. The lore stuff was really interesting to me because I'm a big fan of Sonic lore, especially the classic era.
I'm really happy because I was kind of feeling like maybe I was like droning on and boring people.
no. Okay, so there's
I
one
was
thing.
Very interesting.
One thing you want, one thing I want, is for any interview not to be cut short. A long interview, a drawn out interview is better than a short interview. Otherwise, it's just like, what's the point? I want to learn everything. Like, I want to get to know your points of view. I want to get to know you as a person. That's the whole point of Our Pal Gerbil.
I want to know everything about you.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Gerbil, do you know if the interview took at least 2 hours?
It took about an hour and a
2
half,
hours?
which
Okay,
is
but it
longer
was
than the
actually
average
shorter than-
podcast.
it
Yeah, I know
was-
it's shorter than Neo's
it was
because Neo.
shorter than Neo's, yeah.
In all fairness, this is kind of the first time I've really had a conversation with Pixy. So with Neo, I talk to him all the time, but like with Pixy, I was just kind of because I don't know Pixy. That was the problem. Like, well, it wasn't a problem,
Right.
but like that was the point of this interview, to get to know her, so that everyone else can get to know her, and like it's just like celebrating the good people in the community. And you know, sometimes
Thank you.
maybe I should have done more research and probably should have had more conversations with people like her specifically and played Freedom Planet. But you know, I thought it went well for what little information I did know about
you know the
project.
stream's still on, right?
Yeah, I know.
When are you gonna interview me and I will talk about how I don't have a job and hate myself?
Well, that was the interview right there.
That's
Wow.
not funny, bro.
That was the interview right there. What else are we gonna talk about?
Alright.
Um,
What the fuck was that all about?
I'll give you my fan game pitch about Shadow, and you'll love it.
Just send it to John Sega.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
where's the community
I
hub?
wasn't serious about that comment earlier. by the way.
Stop.
I wonder who I should do next. Maybe I should do Static. Static has asked that he wants to be on the.
Yeah.
Static. Yeah, you should do Static.
Static sucks though.
Interview
Plugging
Sheepdog,
back into
please.
Okay, you know what? I can't. It's kind of hard for me to imagine Static in an interview. I don't know why.
Static is a pretty like
I'd
hard-working
suck ass at
dude.
an
I'd
interview.
assume he knows like the right words to say and how to keep the conversation going. And
Oh, I'm sure he can. I just kind of. I don't know why. I just never like.
Hey, Gerbil.
what's up?
Did you like were you able to show off the art that I did on the stream?
No, I tried, but it glitched out.
It's
It
okay.
straight up wouldn't add the layer at all, and I was concerned why. And I was like, if you ever heard me go silent, like just going, yeah, I was listening, but I was like trying to be like, why is this not working? I'm trying to put the art on
Yeah.
screen, and I was like,
I was a little
Okay.
afraid that I was turning it into like a visual medium for a non-visual.
no, not at all. The whole point of this show is to talk about you and your projects, and you as a person. Like it's a celebration.
Well,
Very
now that you
lovely
guys
show.
know what, TFG, Tiny Flower Garden.
Yeah,
you've heard that.
someone get on that.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
do you like the idea?
Yes.
I
It's a
already
very
said I
interesting idea.
really want to help out, but I can't.
I want to help out, but like everything that I try to help out with is like very, very theoretical. So I might just get fucked over and just my school comes out of nowhere and says, "By the way, you gotta do."
But this isn't theoretical. This project, this is like really far along.
No, my thing is theoretical. Your thing is like guaranteed.
You've already got a lot
Yeah,
done
but
on it.
you weren't a programmer.
Also,
No, I'm not a programmer yet.
I know how to code and program.
I'm like every day of my life. I'm like I'm gonna learn how to code and program, and then I play Sonic instead.
That's a shame.
Coding is easy. You should take this Udemy course.
My brother is like taking my PC every day recently because he's like making Breakout in Unity. Meanwhile, I still don't even do that.
Gerbil Soft. That's a gif of South Island separating from West.
But then times of day.
That's hella cool.
That's bloody sick.
I posted the video in Flicky Theater.
Ah.
I need to get better humor. Damn it, I hate it.
That's
What's
so
cool?
weird. That's so jarring to look at. That it's cool.
What's cool though is like this could totally work in Sonic CD because the snow is entirely tile based.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you're right.
Ooh.
Dude.
Going into the whole.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
Hey,
and
Pixie.
then
Imagine.
yes,
Sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to get this
You're
out there.
okay.
You know Miyazaki?
oh, yeah, she's my friend.
Do you reckon she'd be keen on an interview?
She's nice. I DM'd.
Yeah. She's awesome. I just thought, like, I was thinking, wow, who else can I have? And I was like, probably not Lang, because I already know a lot about
Oh!
utopias.
I was
Oh,
looking for this
damn.
during the interview.
Dude,
here's
I-
Stardust
okay.
Speedway's shop. Go
I'm just
ahead.
gonna call this though. Honestly, if Lang was in an interview, I bet he would go on tangents.
Oh yeah, that's just the Lang thing to do. But
Wow.
like to the audience, which is fine. But like,
I
you know,
mean,
if
to
I'm
be
not really
fair.
learning anything, then
Interview alone is the reason why a lot of people think Lang is an asshole.
Oh,
Wait,
dude,
what?
I can see why so much, but I still like see the.
wait, what interview?
He had
It's like a dev commentary thing where he was on like a stream and he was talking about the game and
Yeah.
that one interview was where I got the whole reference for the Lang for like the Lang.
Yes, that the interview was basically 2 hours of Lang talking about how shit modern Sonic is and how Utopia is like.
I mean, okay,
Better.
listen though, listen, everyone.
You do be right though,
He's
honestly.
kinda right.
No, he is right. That's why people hate
Gerbil.
He's right. That's why people don't like him. That's
They-
right.
they
It's
hate
because
him
people
because
struggle to
he's-
understand
Dude.
Lang's point of view.
Gerbil.
Yeah. What's up?
He's
Look at that snowy.
I post-
cloud.
what the
I love
heck?
that.
Right.
it. Is this the?
Fills the trumpets in the bad future, and in the present, like it just goes around the rim because it's
Yeah.
playing music constantly, which is blowing the snow away.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that's actually really cool.
I'll be right back. I've just got food in the oven.
Data.
Speedway.
Yeah, I do.
This is different.
Here's the bad
Now look at the
future.
background.
Like yeah, look at Robotnik, the statue.
Oh, I didn't know.
I believe it's actually still present in the final game. It's
Yeah.
only in
Well,
the,
it's not.
time
It's not in the
code.
final game. It's just in the files.
Yeah, makes sense.
And here's the
Okay.
good future.
Whoa. It's mirrored. Nice.
It's what?
Nothing.
What?
Good future look like it flooded.
No, I always liked
That's
the
just the
background of
ocean.
Oh, okay.
I always like the ocean in the background of the good future.
Mhm.
It's like it's
Like
so
you can
simple, but like it
the island essentially
yeah,
on the other.
light pollution.
Well,
You know, I
St. Taylor
actually
still
slept
has
in the middle of a desert once, and yeah, you can see the light pollution. It honestly looks even worse with this.
I can't wait until I can turn this game into a reality.
Oh yeah, dude. Stick at it.
Hell yeah.
Here's
me
a-
too, honestly.
Here's an idea I had for like on April Fool's Day. You switch out Sarah for Knights.
Oh, that's
Of
cool.
course.
Knights is cool. I like Knights.
Yeah, and you also get a glimpse of the Good Future Quartz Quadrant shop.
The owl.
Do 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 do.
Good featured Quartz Quadrant is absolute bliss. I love it.
Yeah,
Here's
but
the
it's,
present.
it's overused though, and that's why I can't like it anymore.
What is?
Perfect
Is
logic.
it?
The Good Future song for Quartz Quadrant. You know how it's used in like every fan game.
You can't
Not really.
not like it just because it's overused, can
I
you?
don't.
I
don't even find
can.
it
I like.
overused.
I kind of just get desensitized to how good it is. It's great, but like I've heard it so many times that it's like, yep, this sure is Quartz Quadrant Good Future. It's like one of the most
doesn't
beautiful
make
tracks in
bad,
CD too.
though.
Wah.
Oh, what-
Funny duck.
But like I
that's
also
a
like
cool shop.
thanks. I keep
Dude,
the
is that Knights?
yeah. You weren't listening, were you?
I had Gerbil and wanted to.
On April Fool's Day, I had an
Oh,
idea because
I
because
was deafened and mute.
there's gonna be events like there's gonna be holidays, there's gonna be times of day, there's gonna be weather changes according to the season. one of the ideas was on April Fool's, when it reads your system clock and it tells the game that it's April Fool's Day, it'll switch out Sarah for night.
Damn.
Ah, hot.
Go Gerbil.
Sorry, what?
Like,
Nothing. I've looked up.
I think I mean,
Oh,
I think
goodness!
your mouth full there.
Yeah, I looked.
no, it's hot.
It's really hot.
Okay, baby.
Okay, I'm good now. Sorry, what were you saying, Brock?
So she was like
so-
saying April Fool's Day. Sarah is.
Oh, I know. I was listening.
Oh.
Here's a
I just kind of had to wonder. You were a fan of Shadow. Is it still a thing, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Shadow's one of my favorite characters in the franchise. I hate modded
Yeah,
Sonic.
yeah.
I don't hate modded Sonic. I dislike modded Sonic, but I love
mean,
Shadow.
I mean,
I'll make
it's
the clouds.
understandable.
I'll make the clouds better, but this is like a rainy day concept, like with
Oh.
overcast skies.
Daisy, this reminds me so much of home because I live.
Well,
Unfortunately, it's beautiful. It really is nice.
The joke is that the joke is that there's palm trees and it
And it what?
And it what?
rains.
Brock, I'll admit, I am unfortunately a little bit of a contrarian when it comes to modern Sonic because I really don't like it, but I really like Shadow. So unfortunately, like I will self-admit, in that regard, I am absolutely a contrarian.
Oh, here's
That
Stardust
is
Speedway
actually
with an
kind of-
overcast sky.
That is actually why I asked, because I find like, what did you like converted? Are you like realizing the errors of your ways?
But they're gonna. I'm gonna fix the
I-
clouds. Sure.
For me, I'm just kind of like I see issues with the whole modern Sonic aesthetic, but I'm kind of like okay with having it there. But at the same time, I want to change it.
And then this one's really cool. Like, so here's the nighttime overcast,
Damn.
or it could be
This-
daytime, but the clouds are really heavy.
Ominous.
And then
This-
here it is
this-
with the lights.
This
Better.
this goes back. Okay, so before I actually listened to the interview, I was actually busy scrolling through some old stuff, and I found this, and I feel like if I wouldn't have spoken to people online, this would have still be true.
Uh-huh.
Look at voice channel.
Every Sonic fan before the okay, someone do a current.
Every Sonic fan before
Every
every game of the last decade and a half.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Lang.
He's pointing at me because I was kind of defending Project 2017, saying it's not out yet.
Ah, I've got fucking shit in my throat. Sorry,
Oh my God,
potty language.
That's actually 20.
Yeah, it is from back when I was
No,
kind of
shit.
new here,
This is ancient.
and had a lot of misspells and said
And
all
Lang was
sorts of.
right.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe I was like, okay, I think you're judging this too harshly. I mean, we haven't even seen the game yet. Come on, man.
It was bad. He was right.
Like, what
I mean,
was it a judge?
Ling is always right, but I didn't know that back then, so I was stupid.
Where was he for
That's why
this?
Everyone hates it.
I also like this thing
Hey.
I said,
Be nice.
No, I love Lang. What are you talking about?
and I also realized
would
this.
look
I
like
don't
a
know what the
10-year-old.
context of me saying this was, but it's fucking hilarious.
Hey guys, Edgy the Edgehog here. Tonight, we're gonna review some Sage games. Starting with Emerald Ties. Not wanting to be that guy. Sega! Why is this here? This is not Shadow. Modern Sonic is stupid. Wait, is this Gerbil?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh my
I-
god,
I-
why is that what you resort to?
What is even the
I
context?
don't know. I don't remember the context of this. I don't even remember saying this.
I think you were making fun of me.
It was Sage related, and
Let's
I
just
didn't
say
even
it
know
was-
you. I didn't even know you back then.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
I don't
guy-
know who
somewhere.
Trouble was in 2016.
Also, Scarly, I didn't notice the other side of the loop till now, or at least I didn't remember it until you pointed it out.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not trying to bring that up again. I'm just saying, like, okay, that kind of proves my point.
I just love
Right.
how badly grammared it is. Like everything I wrote back then.
It do be like that.
Stop grammar time.
Alright, Sonic Adventure should be working. Ah.
Oh my god, Zach.
Yeah, what's up?
What did the game you're working on did to you?
The screen is very
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
What are you talking about? What?
Your
Okay.
profile picture, your name. What did?
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, right. I'm living and breathing the aesthetic.
Yeah.
The
But-
ba-da-ba-ba-da-da-da.
Yo, Pixie.
Select
Pixie.
your character.
Pixie. Zach over here is working on a vaporwave game. I thought you'd be curious.
A vaporwave game?
Pastel as shit.
Select
Yeah, actually.
Do you
so
want to show me?
I don't have much to show. I basically, the idea to make it vaporwave is kind of spur of the moment, so I had to rework a few stages to be vaporwave. The actual title of the project in Unity is actually still called Chomp 3D, because I had no clue what to call it, and I based the original idea of it off basically just making Pac-Man worlds, but like for Android. And it still has a lot of that in there. So there are maze stages that you have to unlock. Like you can like explore the stage, you can find a maze to unlock. There is a fixed camera, but it like changes direction based on where you are in the stage. So it actually works like a platformer. And like yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Give me 1 second. Let me go to my Twitter. I actually have some pictures there.
You
seem
home
to
in the
think
lab.
yourself around.
Shut up.
Dude, isn't like, dude, the pole was the enemy here. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Guys, oh my god, I noticed that there are palm trees.
So
Guys.
so yeah, Pix, I'm gonna post this in voice channel. It's still very, very, very early.
Okay.
But I'm kind of proud of where it's coming.
Zach is a really talented dude.
Whoa! Oh my god, it's so pretty!
Damn.
It kind of is. Holy shit.
Very aesthetic.
The only thing is, I think you should lean into the neon colors with like, you're doing like this yellow and black checkerboard thing, and you should make that more like
Actually, that's
neon.
that's green.
Oh,
I might have to adjust the color contrast on that then. That's mostly just because the fact that like the entire stage is bathed in pink light. Like a lot of
That's a pink palm tree right there. I love pink palm tree.
yeah.
Hey, Pixie, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
What do you think of this concept art that you did?
Oh, I love it!
Gerbil,
The tragic panic stuff.
HTML error? What the fuck happened here?
It's
This
like
is
a mix
supposed to be a
between
left and right meme.
it's like a mix between New Tragic High and Stardust Speedway.
You got it.
Wait,
Damn.
what are you talking about, Brock?
I'm doing concept art.
Look at this. Look at these old left and right memes I wrote that for some reason aged poorly.
I remember when T-Bot was still up and running, and left and right had like a million images.
Why did I wrote to
That was like
Tino's and
2016 though.
What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to accomplish? You're trying to like skip.
Well, you
Alright,
could usually like spin dash off the ramp like at the side and then just go from there, but you had to go to the top.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh my
I don't
God.
really do that. I don't know what you were doing though.
I was doing that.
Oh, Shane, I got something to show you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like okay.
Shane was so like happy about that, so excited.
I want to see.
Pornography.
Yeah,
Sounded
exactly
like
that.
you woke up from a nap.
Wait. Did you just fucking play this spy saying pornography?
Pornography.
So
Yo, I love
That's so
this.
cool.
thanks. Those are the
yeah.
like those are like trophy
Those are
cups for like winning
Well done,
races in
Oh, yeah, I remember.
in
Are you-
Desert Dazzle and Final Fever specifically. Thank you.
It looks like Titanic Monarch kind of stuff.
Yes.
And then here's all the other zones. Oops.
I love this.
Windy
Sorry?
Valley.
Yeah.
Final Fever
Well done,
and
partner.
Desert Dazzle are not a thing. They just they're a thing now. Oh wait, that was the
I
right
like
size.
I like this game
You'll
a
just
lot.
have to click on it.
I actually really love the Wacky Workbench and Quartz Quadrant
Well
one
done,
specifically.
I like that one
Thanks.
too.
I'm so glad there's a Dazzle got repurposed into a Saloon Zone.
He's nice.
Oh, I'm so glad
It's
too.
good.
I love how Marathon looks. I would totally go there.
Morocco
I
is probably my
really-
favorite zone in the entire game.
Same.
I really want to show off some more concept art.
It's
What I'm doing.
very aesthetically consistent
Yeah, right?
with Sonic 1 and 2D.
You could slap the zones in Mania in CD and they would like actually look in place.
You could mistake them. You could mistake it for like a reimagined zone.
Yeah, well honestly dude, like I
It
remember
technically is.
I remember one of the playthroughs, like burst playthroughs of Mania, one guy was like, "Oh, is this stage from CD?" And he was playing Studiopolis. So it fits so like seamlessly with the aesthetic that it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right.
I have this bias towards Studiopolis because I love classic cartoons, and there was like one classic where I was like, okay, this is the best age ever.
Studiopolis is peak Sonic design.
It really is, like, the amazing colors, it's like, the amazing, like, surrealism and geometry, it's like what Sonic is, but like, really all out with it. And
Exactly.
like a really cool it's less of a studio and more of like a, oh wow, okay. It's less of a studio and more of like a really cinema-themed city, and I think that it looks beautiful. I love it.
It's like
Don't forget the
a
fact the
movie
music is
set.
A fucking bop. Don't forget
I
the
thought-
music is a fucking bop.
Oh yeah,
Talking
dude.
about level design or
Who knew
aesthetic?
West Side Island had something like this?
I'm gonna be real. I think that Studiopolis is almost a perfect zone in every way. Like level design, music, aesthetic,
got the
it honestly
boss.
ticks every box for me.
What about the
Okay, the
F1
boss sucks. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
oh boy.
I'd say Heavy Gunner is probably one of the weakest bosses in the entire game.
It's completely unengaging. It's boring, and it's like easily one of the worst. Like just not fun.
There is
Yeah.
one really good part about that mini boss though. It's the fact that it gets listened to one of the best tracks in the
Oh yeah, absolutely.
True.
And the Act 2's boss.
That right there gives it a huge one-off, even though the boss itself is kind of.
I reckon Act 2's boss is pretty good.
I like it. I also like it. Yeah, I
It's
like
good because you can will on it.
Hey
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
just a second. I'm gonna deafen.
That's all good.
I mean,
Um,
it's not a good Sonic boss unless you can wail on it.
Playing Adventure
Right.
really makes me appreciate how fun the Sonic stages are. And that's it.
Okay, hold
Oh,
on.
shit.
Speaking of aesthetic, what is your favorite part about like the adventure aesthetics, and what is your least favorite, and what is your favorite?
Alright, no, that's a good question. So I think my least favorite is the parts where they take interesting concepts and then just completely bleaken them. So a good example is Emerald Coast is not very aesthetically interesting. It's cool, it's got cool set pieces, but in my opinion it's not really aesthetically out there. And it doesn't encompass what Sonic is. It's cool, but it's not my Sonic. Now Windy Valley is the complete opposite. This shit is insane. This is the shit you would never find in like any other type of game. And it completely balances like the colors. It completely balances like the loops and terrain and the corkscrews and stuff. I don't think it has any. No, it does have a corkscrew. And like I feel like it encompasses what Sonic is. Accompanied by great music, a system of progression. You're traveling on like a grounded sort of air-esque biome, going into a tornado and then flinging yourself up into the fucking air at light speed. Like that's Sonic-y.
The surrealism is less in how the level looks and more of how
How it's presented.
Presentation
Presentation doesn't necessarily have to be the way it looks. You know, the progression system.
Right.
A floating island. It's like a bunch of floating things in the air, and no one cares because it just looks cool. Like,
Exactly.
Run around on it.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't like Emerald Coast. I think it's a fun stage, and it's very fun to play, and it's iconic. But I feel like it really misses with the aesthetic. Like, the Orca scene is cool, but that's about as far as I can really give it compliments for.
Okay,
can only
question.
say that.
Well, hey, question. What do you think is better then? The one we actually got, or the Windy Valley that got cut?
Windy Valley that got cut aesthetically is just phenomenal.
I love it. Actually, it's got really good colors. The color of grass is definitely a lot more.
The level design is a little too skate park-like for my liking, but I think the aesthetic and what they were trying to do is just peak Sonic. Like, just absolutely
Okay.
amazing.
What do you mean it's too skate park? Like when
So-
you say that.
I've taken a look. I did it a few months ago. No, it would have been a year ago. I took apart the geometry from the beta Windy Valley and had a look at it. And what it does is, I don't know if it's assembled customly or if the model was like that, but the way it's presented looks very, very, very unfocused. And not unfocused in the sense that there's multiple paths to take. It's that there's no real reason for those paths to exist. You know what I mean? They changed the geometry, yes, but it's cluttered with different paths to a point where it's not necessarily fun to traverse. You're more making the mental decision yourself, which path should I take? And that's not fun. When it goes seamlessly, I feel that's where Sonic peaks.
It's kind of like when I look at the
Casino
classic
Park.
zones, certain pathways are found just by me playing the game and maybe finding them accidentally, or maybe they're wondering, okay, how do I do this? But for Windy Valley beta,
Hit the light switch use.
I would kind of just look for. Like,
Yeah.
It was less seamless and more like this different path would not really lead to something that was that groundbreaking at all.
There was no point. It was just doing it for the sake of doing it. But I still think the aesthetic was amazing. Like, I still think it looked fucking fantastic.
I commend them for giving the old college try and not making it seem really cheap looking like everything that modern Sonic does nowadays.
Yeah. No, exactly. But I reckon stages like Ice Cap, I don't know if... I remember in this version, the Dreamcast conversion version, it looked a lot better. The colors were blue. It looked nicer.
It's actually blue.
Yeah. But the DX version looks like shit.
Blue is definitely way better than whatever DX was doing.
Absolutely.
Honestly, though, I still prefer the way it looks in Sonic 3, though, because of course.
Hey, DX try to look real.
DX trying to look real, dude. Like DX, dude, real looks poopy. Okay.
It does.
Take Sonic out of my real environment.
And that's why I really...
That's why I'm...
Oh shit! I gotta get the upgrade.
Listen, dude. If I see a realistic tree in my Sonic game, I'm gonna go nuts. Palm trees better not look realistic, dude. I hate you and me.
Hashtag not my Sonic.
I mean...
It's... I don't think... You know.
Okay, I wasn't being 100% serious though. But
I was gonna say, cause like Generations and shit, dude.
Well, I like what Generations does aesthetically, but you know, it's not like my ideal thing, but it definitely looks really good when you get Sonic.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
say that because I'm actually playing Generations right now.
I mean, ideally, I get it. You don't really want to make Sonic too close to reality, but at the same time, adding some realistic elements should help feel a lot more organic.
I think
and
that
a lot more, you know.
when it comes to realism in Sonic, I mean, of course, stylistic reality, like realities, like all that kind of stuff, and environments coming how real environments work. So just kind of stylizing real environments and, you know, taking some notes here and there to make it look pretty snazzy looking, and you know, taking some realistic, like some hints of realism can look really great. I am very open-minded when it comes to Sonic just art styles, as long as it looks good and as long as it kind of maintains that Sonic look for me.
Yeah.
As long as it looks good and feels good, basically.
Yeah,
my closest
Guy, you having
modern
trouble there?
example,
No.
Closest modern example to an aesthetic I really like is Sonic Colors. I like the aesthetic a lot.
Oh, Sonic Colors has an amazing aesthetic.
Sonic Colors, awesome.
Yeah, boy.
By the way, Gerbil, you said that you were gonna like do something weird about the Unleash stages
Yeah,
at some point.
I'll redesign the environments. Well, not redesign them, but
make sure you at me when you do that. I want to see this.
yeah, no problem. I'm really interested in, for fuck's sake, I'm really interested in redesigning elements of Unleash because I feel like shush. I feel like there was potential to make a spin. I feel like there was there was potential for a realism-inspired environment, but what it did was it just was realism, which, you know, photorealism isn't an aesthetic. It's not an art style. It's just realism.
It's not a style. It's more of just like, well, you would obviously do this if you were doing a realistic like game. But
Exactly.
It's not really a style, and doesn't really fit with a stylized character. But you can
Yeah.
have realistic environments, like Windy Valley. Like that obviously has some things that are based on like actual real life objects, but looks fucking stylized as hell.
My thing with Unleashed is that most of its stages, when I first played it, I was not really aware of most of these places, like Mykonos and whatnot. So
What?
for me, it's like, for me personally, it just felt like
How did you miss
It didn't
this?
fail a curve.
I don't fucking know.
No,
The game just
okay,
was like,
okay,
nope.
not you. I'm talking about Gerbil. Like normally, everyone in their mother, whenever they do this one section of what, they just kind of.
I played this game like a billion times. I don't know how I missed it. Like, it wasn't my fault. The game was just like, nope.
Yeah, I believe you. Just what happened? And what's going on? Like first the
You went
freaking
through the
bouldering.
smallest gap between capsule and gate.
This game has got weird hit detection.
Yes.
This
Better
game is
SADX,
weird and I love it.
Actually, better SADX, more like worse SADX. Am I right?
Oh fuck!
It's better. It's better, but it's not necessarily good.
Damn it! Now I want to go back and play SA again.
I'm actually planning to play it on my Dreamcast today.
Oh no.
Oh, dude, that reminds me. Speaking of PC games, guess who fucking put most of his PC together today?
Not you.
This guy.
Not me.
Oh, okay.
It's no use!
When did you have-
So
What?
before everything went to shit, I had bought the case and the motherboard, and I was kind of holding off. But I finally bit the bullet today, and I bought the rest of the parts. Two of them aren't coming in till tomorrow. So like the graphics card and RAM aren't coming in till tomorrow. But I've already put my processor, cooler, case, motherboard, power supply, and SSD all in the case, and I am super excited because
I'm excited for you, man. It's gonna be awesome.
dude, it's a Ryzen 3700.
I don't even know what that is, but that sounds cool.
No, that is literally one of the most powerful consumer grade CPUs you can buy. It's 8 physical cores, meaning it's 16 cores hyper-threaded. This is the shit that's going in the Xbox Series X.
I have a GTX 1080.
Actually, no. It's more powerful than it.
What?
The graphics card I'm getting is not the most powerful, I'll admit, but it is very close. It's the Ryzen 5500. I'm getting 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. The solid state is half a terabyte, and I'm getting a 2 terabyte hard drive. And although I don't have a 144 hertz monitor, basically I can play literally every single PC game out right now.
That's awesome.
I got this computer in
so
2017,
excited!
and I can play every PC game that's gonna be coming out for the next like 10 years.
Yeah.
I gotta get my new PC and my new mic because it sounds like absolute crap right now, of course. And I also gotta, just gotta get my.
Take me to Knight's Land. No!
I'm just so fucking excited. Oh my god. Actually, you know what this means, Barack?
What?
It means that I'm gonna be able to go ahead and play Jet Set Radio Future, possibly at 144 hertz.
You were already playing it pretty well earlier.
I know, but imagine it better.
Did you continue playing that, by the way?
I tried. Something's up with the emulator. It dropped down from 60 to 30, and I think it's just because of like the updates that recently happened with the emulator. They changed how they do some of the rendering, so it kind of breaks. But that's fine because I'm gonna have a drastically more powerful CPU, a drastically more powerful graphics card, and drastically more powerful RAM come tomorrow.
Gerbil, I DM'd you one last time.
Well, my laptop has 32 gigs of RAM, but it's all DDR3. DDR4 RAM is a faster RAM, so I have less of it. I have 16 gigs of RAM, but it'll be faster RAM, so it doesn't have to hold things for as long. The processor is the biggest thing, because the Ryzen processor that I have is a fucking beast.
Is DDR just the SSD equivalent of RAM?
No.
It's
DDR
Dance Dance
is...
Revolution RAM.
Yeah, Dance Dance Revolution. No, it's how you notate your RAM. So DDR3, well, let me actually pull up by the actual scale, because basically it just references what the limit is for the RAM. So DDR3 RAM caps out at about 2.9 gigahertz. DDR4 caps out at about 4 gigahertz. Which means, and its starting rate is 3 gigahertz. I'm getting 3.2 gigahertz RAM, which is very good. Very, very good. Let me put this, yeah, I mean, it's at a whole nother level. doubling my SSD space and my hard drives. I'm doubling my CPU power, and I am quadrupling my power on my graphics card. Because right now I'm gaming off a 960M, which is a mobile graphics processor made by NVIDIA that barely runs DirectX 12. Starting tomorrow, I will have 8 gigs of video RAM instead of just 2. I will have some of the fastest VRAM in business. The only thing I won't be able to do is I won't be able to do RTX level stuff yet. But that's going to change pretty soon because NVIDIA is releasing their Navi architecture, which allows you to do that kind of cool shit. But yeah, no, I even have my copy of Windows 10 and everything ready to go. I'm going to download and install Steam. I'm going to download Halo. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, and my CPU came with some free games. So I get Resident Evil 3, the remake, and I get
You get that shit for free?
Yeah, I got it for free with. Well, I paid $300 for the CPU. No, sorry, that's not correct. I paid $300 for the CPU, but the CPU didn't come with anything except for free Xbox Game Pass. The GPU comes with. What's up?
Is it a Gen 8?
It's a Ryzen Gen 7 CPU. Well, Ryzen 7 is like the highest. Oh,
7.
Yeah, Ryzen 7 is some of the most powerful graphics tech currently out. I'm excited.
Yeah. I don't know, I just have a GTX
Fuck!
50. Does the job fine enough for me?
Give me a sec real quick. I'm gonna actually...
I yet to find something that it doesn't run.
All I know is that, like, I'm very excited to pop this thing open tomorrow. Basically, tomorrow I'm stopping by my work, and I'm picking up, like, the rest of the parts. And then I'm gonna spend tomorrow... basically, what's it called? Installing Windows 10, and essentially, since my monitor isn't gonna be in for a little while, I'm gonna be, basically running my new desktop on the TV in the living room. So I'm not gonna get the 60 hertz, but I am gonna get, to just run it, and I'm excited.
How will you have fun? What's the first thing you're gonna test it with?
RPCS3.
Oh, of course.
The PS. Well, here's the thing, right? So here's the thing, right? The PS3 emulator I run has specific AMD-based like benefits. There's a CPU. Yeah, there's a CPU hack that RPCS3 uses that actually like helps improve things. Not to mention the fact that, like, I'm just so excited. Oh, I actually probably should instead start recording footage for my next review. I need to actually record audio, and I've been meaning to, and keep forgetting to.
Zach, out of curiosity, does RPCS3 crashes on your end sometimes?
Just make sure you test out Metal Gear Solid 4.
It crashes on certain games. Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction, which I've been playing, and actually, I've gotten pretty far in, randomly crashes. They don't know why. The crashes have cut down since the last few updates. Like, I can play, like, a couple planets before the game crashes. And I can actually play it really good, too. Like, I can get 60 in places. In one of the levels, there's a level that's, like, super dense with foliage. And I can actually play that stage at least 30 FPS, which is good because like it shouldn't be. Like a month ago, it didn't run at all. Like a month ago, it didn't run. So...
You know, I just realized something. Zach, you know you're in a stream right now, right?
Huh?
You know you're in a stream.
Yeah, my stream.
Yeah, you're in a stream.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. You were talking about your PC the whole time for the audience.
Wait, hold on. Are you seriously fucking still streaming on YouTube right now?
Yeah,
He's playing Sonic Adventure.
We've been streaming for ages. Talking
you
about
serious?
fucking PC shit.
Yes.
Here
Oh.
you go, Zach.
It's all live on video now.
Oh wow.
Sonic goes really fast on a snowboard. Holy shit! Look how fast this
hold on,
fucker is.
Hold on, wait.
Adventure and PC Talk.
It just gets to the realization. Hold on, we're talking about
doing
this
flying
for
just
last
now.
hour.
Yeah, I know, right?
And we're in a stream, and I remember Zach
Yeah.
came later on.
Well,
Yeah, he came in later on.
people who are watching the stream, be sure to sub to Zach Xevious for no reason other than I'm asking you to.
Yeah, alright, boot him from the chat. No, okay.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Kidding.
Not even
Where
I.
is...
Bugged.
What's the next zone again? It's Twinkle
You know
Pop.
what they say, the more the merrier.
Not like my fucking channel like gets a lot of subs. I mean,
You know, like, I don't do shit on my YouTube channel, somehow I got like 300 subs.
you have more
What?
subs than I do, and I actually try.
Yeah.
You know
but,
what
like,
they say. You can
But like all I have is some old like videos when I was like 12 and I was doing stupid shit, and maybe like shitty tutorials, a shitty piano tutorial.
Hey! Turn that shitty
All my old
tutorial
videos are
into a
gone.
titty tutorial.
Bro,
That is
oh my God.
quoting our man Critical.
I'm like looking at my fucking like video feed.
Oh no.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
7 years ago,
Oh,
right
no.
before like YouTube
Oh, no.
made the weird. What are you annoying about?
Game.
The game, he's fighting Knuckles.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Fighting Knuckles.
Oh no.
Okay, so I made a video about like right before YouTube like transitioned to the shitty HUD we have now, like there was a weird
Oh.
thing where you could not see people's subscribers, and for some reason I made a video about it. And I was like, wow,
You're talking like the ancient before times.
yes, this is 7
Dude.
years old. This is 7 years old.
7
Oh my God, I
years?
forgot.
Oh, dude, it's older than that. Dude, so ages ago, in the ancient before times, when I was like 11, I had a YouTube channel back in that time, and I actually went back and watched one of the videos. I'm asking people to rate 5 stars.
Listen,
Oh my god.
at least your videos are not like a Taki tutorial. You know what Taki is? Literally Hebrew Uno. And it's
Oh.
like,
This boss sucks.
it's like, imagine it's just, you don't even know what editing is at all. Like, so when you
Oh, wow.
write the name of the video on a piece of paper, put the box on it, and like you make weird camera angles to make it look like an edited video, which doesn't work and looks stupid. And then
Dude,
just like
dude.
12-year-old you fucking talking about shit in broken English, barely able to like explain it, and then giving an example when you talk to yourself. This is the most stupidest.
To be completely fair, if done right, I could see how that would be really cool.
Oh my god, I forgot I made a Reach for the Stars karaoke.
I miss
Oh.
Dean
Oh, no.
Brewster.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, I didn't
no.
sing. No, I didn't sing. It's a karaoke version. Like I found an instrumental version, I put it into Windows Movie Maker, and I like wrote the lyrics down.
Oh, so you made what they do on like cruises and shit, where like it just plays the instrumental, and
Is it that specific instrumental from like TGS?
I think it's a shitty, like, I don't think it's a very good instrument. I don't know, this is the short version, by the way.
Yeah.
This
guy
I know
just
what you're
sucks.
talking about. From like one of the trailers.
Look at Sonic!
Oh man, you can even see like the maker color saturation shit.
yeah.
I also made, I also made 2 openings for my channel. I made one, realized it sucks, and then immediately made another one. And the other one has a watermark in one of the footage I used. For
Oh.
GameAnyone.com.
What is GameAnyone.com. I've never heard of that.
I don't know. It's a forum now. But like, I just used random footage from that I downloaded from YouTube.
Yeah.
I posted it in voice channel. It's in the fucking thumbnail.
This
Are you serious?
Sky Chase sucks. I hate Sky Chase.
And I actually used this fucking multiple times.
Dude, hold on. I had my YouTube muted so I could like both talk and not get an echo from the stream because I'm watching the stream right now.
Same.
And God, almost the entire video has that watermark in it. Brock.
What?
Okay, but you wanna remember this is version 2. You wanna know what version 1 was?
Yes.
Oh God.
Here you
Okay.
go.
Okay, since you're showing terrible shit.
I am not even gonna try to explain this because I don't even know myself at this point.
It looks like you just played the game, recorded it, and then sped it up.
Oh no, I just downloaded footage from YouTube. I stole
You didn't
I stole footage.
You just
Why is
stole
it
it.
a minute long?
What do you think the watermark is from? I just looked at random footage and didn't even know.
Oh my God.
Whoa! It's so a minute long, and like a minute is just created by smack in the middle.
Okay, the idea of the original opening is, hey, I'm gonna take all the Sonic games and put them into a single intro, and it will be cool. Nobody done this.
I mean, there are a lot of things people
Sonic
haven't
died.
done. Oh yeah, there are a lot of things that people haven't done that are for good reason.
Obviously.
Oh my God.
What was the conversation we had earlier? Like a couple days ago. What was it? Peanut butter and mayonnaise? Yeah.
No.
That's that's the intro.
No.
Disgusting.
You wanna see something cursed yet also I think but also helpful at the same time that I did. Hold on.
What?
Where the fuck is it? Where is
Okay.
it?
But if you're gonna be posting curse shit, I get to post curse shit too.
Okay.
Specifically, I'm gonna post my
don't even
Weevil video.
Don't even watch the video. Just look at the title.
Download Sonic 4 plus WiiWare plus channels to your Wii.
Okay,
Oh
actually,
my
no,
God.
This isn't even the most crispy. Hold on, where's the other Sonic 4 video I made? Where is it?
This has 7,000 views. Oh, and it was released on my birthday.
Oh, you want to see my video with
It's
the most views?
7,000
This is my
views.
SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie game for PC Let's Play. It has 61,000 views.
When's the next part?
Wait, did you say 61,000?
Yeah, look.
What?
Look.
For fuck's sake.
Brock.
I mean, remember, this is 10 years old, though, so...
I know, but like, I tried hard, and like, I haven't even. The highest amount of views I've gotten in a video is 7,000, and you have just about 10 times that amount.
I mean-
The highest views I got for my video was like.
well, here's the thing. I'm glad that I don't have more.
Oh,
because-
although Brock, I will say this: that video got flagged as for kids. Dab.
Wait, what? Oh.
I got flagged. Serious. Like I'm looking at this, and like the entire sidebar is just like Peppa Pig. My family saw it.
Oh my God, you're right.
My
Brock, please tell me you said the F word at least once in that video.
No.
Oh.
Actually, I'm not
Okay.
sure. I haven't actually looked at my own Let's Play in years. I mean, maybe I did. It's a good chance.
My most watched video is at 27K.
I think mine's around that amount too.
And it's like the only one on the channel that's
Here's
even
my
remotely.
first video. Look at this beautiful title and subtitle.
Like
how to put Icy Tower. Oh my god, Icy Tower. Oh my god. I haven't thought of Icy Tower in forever. Also, is that what OS are you using on that computer? It doesn't look like Windows.
I think it's Windows Vista.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. That's what I
Oh.
had.
Your fucking
How we-
Smash Brothers Brawl Sonic render.
Oh yeah, I
God.
thought it was cool. I like that render back then.
Oh, shit, that reminds me, I gotta figure out if this works. So, I, like many other emulator boys, put emulators on my phone, because of course I do, and I want to see if I can play Wii games on my Android phone. I want to see if it works.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, Zach, I want to tell you one more thing.
What?
You want to know how I learned about copyright's existence?
How?
You know the Sonic Paradox and a little thing called Seaside Hill Denied?
What did
about
you
it?
do?
I actually was the first to ever upload it.
Yeah, not bad.
So wait, hold on, wait. So you ripped the song probably off Newgrounds, if I had to make a guess.
No,
And-
it was actually first revealed in Summer of Sonic through a live stream. I used HyperCam 2, and I just filmed it and uploaded it before they did, and they striked me.
Well,
And I got the Happy Tree Friends instructions from YouTube and everything.
You got. Oh, dude, is Happy Tree Friends still a thing?
I don't know.
I hope not.
No.
Let me see real quick. Happy Tree Friends.
Happy.
I just
Tree
know the
Friends?
writers for
What
Happy
are you
Tree
talking
Friends
about?
rank Sonic.
Yeah. Let me
Man,
see real quick.
I felt like dying that day because like I saw like the strike and I was like, what is going on? Why can I not watch videos?
Oh my god. Well, let me see here real quick. I'm on Mondo Media's website Mondo Media's channel right now, and the last Happy Tree Friends I see is from a year ago.
Oh snap.
Yeah, so they're still making stuff, and it's
You
still
know-
still has over 500,000 views. Like it turned a year old like in March.
You know what
I'm-
else I did? I forgot I did this. I did a walkthrough. I did like a 6 minutes playthrough of Sonic Generations Black Box Edition.
What? What's Black Box Edition?
Apparently, Black Box make like modern versions of games that remove half of the assets, so it will run better. So the game looks like shit, basically.
Oh, that's silly.
Uh-huh.
That's silly.
No, but they don't like even downgrade the graphics or anything. They just remove the assets.
So wait, hold on. So they just select things and hit delete.
Yeah, basically, like Sonic's boost just doesn't have a boost effect. It doesn't have a boost effect. What?
He's just running super fast.
Yeah, it doesn't have. Okay, I'm looking at the footage right now. It actually looks pretty good. It's just Sonic doesn't have a boost effect. Like all I know is that they turned Sonic Generations from 8 gigs to like 4.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Was it made for potato computers?
Probably. I mean, I had.
It sincerely sounds. By the way, speaking of reducing file size, do y'all hear what Xbox is trying to do?
What?
This is some of your tech news. They actually have a division, and I get this from like the Xbox Twitter account. So this is on the nose as it gets. They have a division that is currently working on trying to use artificial intelligence to up the size of texture resolution, so they don't have to have them take up most of your hard drive. Because the actual code and models for 3D assets, they don't take up as much file size. It's only the textures and the video and sound that takes the most storage. Like I'll have a Blender file of like,
And-
shit.
And the whole Windows 10 operating system that they store on the damn thing.
Well, yeah. Xbox. It's Windows 8 for Xbox One. For Xbox Series X, it'll probably be Windows 10. But for the Xbox One, I hear it's like the the 8.1, I think it is.
Oh,
That's
it's
why.
static.
Bro, look at my voice. This is the midpoint. It's like a perfect midpoint.
Between.
Between when I was like was a school 12-year-old and how I sound like now.
God, Brock, you sound really weird.
I know.
Oh god.
What?
Who the hell is playing with their mic?
What?
You guys didn't hear that? Like somebody was like moving their mic around.
No.
Also, that I made a Sonic Adventure, one of the last videos on my channel, and the Sonic Adventure Let's Look that I started 7 years ago and never finished. Despite saying in the first part, I promise I will finish this, and I never did.
Do it, fucking finish it.
I don't wanna.
Re-sign into that account and just be like, hi guys, welcome back. My name's Brocksha. I totally didn't forget. Let's keep going. No. Then you load like the next game in this. Like, what Sonic game were you playing?
Adventure 1.
So you loaded Adventure 2 instead. Like we were here, right? All right, let's get started.
Okay, so.
The greatest shitpost of all time.
Okay, I originally started playing this on the PC version of Adventure DX. Then I moved to the other PC version. You know.
Oh, the 2003 one. Oh,
yeah.
The Steam version. So you went from the 2003 to the Steam version.
Yes.
I see.
So, for the next do I have to keep it that way, or can I use the conversion mod?
I would use the conversion mod, but I would also mod it to hell and back. Yeah, just to make it weird, because like most of the people that actually follow that Let's Play have probably long since moved on. So when you come back with the next video, just make it a shitpost.
Don't think this is anything like that SpongeBob Let's Play. The biggest views on any part got 600 views.
I mean, 600 views is my average, so.
Yeah, but this is accumulated in 7 years.
That is a good point. Counterpoint, 600 views is still a good amount for a very small YouTuber.
By the way, can I just say I uploaded part 5 7 years ago, part 6 6 years ago, and part 7 5 years ago. So yeah, I actually after part 6 I waited a year and I was like, oh yeah, let's do another part. And then
as one does.
Oh shit. No wait, never mind.
I don't want to finish this on. Who's gonna make me? I mean, Crab makes me.
I'm not gonna make you. I honestly, have other things to do, like try to make aesthetic the game.
Yeah, you do that.
Also, I like to remind everyone, including myself, that we're currently live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's so weird, dude. Anyway.
I get to play Red Mountain.
Let me show you, Zach, before I knew what editing was.
Follow
Just
that Sonic
don't watch
Legends
the
20,
rest of the video. Just watch the first.
Hey, Scully.
did it.
Scully, tell us a joke. Tell us a funny joke.
My existence.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Based!
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go for now.
Alright, see you, Pixie. Have a good one.
It was
Bye,
fun.
Pixie.
Good night.
Wait, Brock, how old were you when you made this video?
I don't fucking know.
It sounds like you were like 10.
Yeah, probably was 14. Okay, so this is 2010. This is 10 years ago. Yeah, I was 12.
Okay, well, since you're bearing your soul and showing videos from when you were that age, I'm gonna go and show a video from when I was that age, so you can laugh at me.
I sacrifice so you can sacrifice.
I don't have any fucking remaining video.
What are you
All I have
playing?
videos I
That's
made in high
interesting.
school.
From when I was 10.
Sorry
Music
guys, I
videos.
wasn't an idiot as a kid.
Yeah, I really wasn't.
There you go.
I absolutely was.
Here's a video from 2009.
Well, at least you edited it. You can edit.
I opened it and listen. Windows Movie Maker is not the same as editing it like I normally do.
I know, but it's still more editing when I did it.
Hey, what's this here on the stream? It looks interesting.
Sonic Adventure.
Wait, huh. It looks different than what I remember.
It's the
That's because they
it's the
modded it.
Dreamcast conversion, so it's just like got the original textures and the original models. It's still glossy that I don't like, but you know it looks better.
Yeah. Can't you replace it with the Lantern Engine one?
No idea what that is.
There's supposed to be like this lighting fix for
Find the computer room.
What's it called? SADX that like replaces the lighting engine itself with a different lens, like the Lantern Engine that looks more in line with how it did on the Dreamcast, from what I understand.
That'd be helpful.
Like it basically it adds all of the lighting back in and fixes all of the problems with the way that the like the current engine doesn't really have a lighting engine, to put it mildly.
Wow.
So like the way a lot of stuff is done kind of just doesn't work like it's supposed to. Lantern Engine, however, adds all of the lighting stuff back in because there's a bunch of moody lighting everywhere in the original game that's like just missing in this.
Yeah, it's SADX has the same problem that Halo 1 had, where the first port broke everything, and that's just the one they keep using from then on.
I love Red Mountain. It's such a cool stage. It looks awesome. Kinda, actually. It looks a little bland outside. But like, mountain volcano construction site.
What, Brock?
That is still a shit ton more. This is 10 billion times more quality than what I did. I don't care.
Please start breathing so heavily into the mic. People are trying to watch our good friend Gerbil play video games.
My friend Gerbilsoft is a duck. He communicates through duck tongue. Duck in a hole.
Duck tongue. Duck tongue. Woo.
I love this game.
Oh, actually, you have SADX installed. Okay.
I love everything about this game apart from everything that isn't Sonic.
Damn fourth chaos.
You love everything except the game.
Yeah.
What about Gamma?
Gamma's cool.
Everybody loves Gamma.
What do you do? What is that?
It's me.
What are you doing? That sounded spooky.
Singing along to the music.
Yeah.
That sounded spooky.
Wow! I hate Sky Chase so fucking much. It's so unfun.
Just sit in the corner and not do anything.
All right.
What's up?
This is actually I'm gonna after Skydeck. I think I'm gonna stop streaming.
It would probably be wise. I mean, it's just evolved into people screaming and shitposting. So.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
all 9 of us in the chat.
Actually, you know what you should do? You should stream yourself playing Sonic Kart so we all can play together.
No, you wouldn't be able to play because I live in Australia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I feel like just moving to fucking America just so I can play with people. That sounded awful.
So why did you come to America? For better economic opportunities? Nah, man. I'm just tired of.
If I wanted better economic opportunities, I'd stay here.
Yeah, if I want a better economic, I can't. Fuck. I can do an Australian accent, but I can't do it on demand.
All right, you want some tips? Don't enunciate the vowels. So if you hear the word a, say ah. So instead of at, you go at the shop, not at the shop.
Yeah, listen, man, about that. Yeah.
This is fucking Jamaican.
I can do
Crikey. This is Ringo Starr. Ringo's like, oh yeah, I was part of a band, you know.
I can do. I get my accents all mixed up when I'm trying to go do it perform on cue. I can do an accent if like I have the time to like practice, or if I'm just shit posting with people. But the moment I try to do it, like, oh well, I can right here, fuck it up.
Fair. It takes a while. I'm actually very good with accents. I can pull off an English one. I can pull off an Australian one. I can pull off an American one pretty well.
Let's see.
Okay,
A dingo
like,
ate
I'm
my
looking
baby.
at
That didn't
this.
work.
Isn't this
Yeah.
basically just Panzer Dragoon?
Ignore what I said.
Yeah.
This is not fun.
It's bootleg Panzer Dragoon.
This is blatantly just not fun at all, and I never want to play this stage again. This is the worst part of Sonic gameplay. Not because it's like badly designed or anything, just because it's such a slog.
Is it auto-scrolling?
It's also kind of badly designed, but you know. The music's dope though.
What if we had Sky?
I can't hear the music because if I like turn on the stream, then I'm just gonna hear an echo.
It's fair enough.
Yeah. God damn it. Why did this play like Sky Chase?
If it played like Sky Chase, people would hate it.
No, if Sonic was able to like move on the plane and like you could homing attack like the ships that flew past you, that'd be cool.
Here's the thing, right?
I mean,
So Brock,
You just
you
fall
say
off.
we played Sky Chase, but after the stage before Sky Chase, I was a fucking breath of fresh air.
Okay,
I
that's
hate Metropolis Zone, and you can't convince me otherwise.
What's the point of that fucking boss fight?
I mean, yeah, but like, people still think Sky Chase is fucking boring, and there's a reason why people don't really like Mirage Saloon Act 1 that much.
I like Mirage Saloon Act 1.
I like it.
I mean, it's alright. I don't have a problem with it.
It's okay. It's alright.
Sonic's talking about my brain. Wow, this thing is really huge!
Here's the thing. If there's one thing that's cool about
yeah, brain.
Why the fuck?
I can't say that word on stream. And you know it.
Why does Sonic? Okay, the thing is, why does scrolling levels in general exist? I fucking hate them.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
this is the way to the sky deck. Yeah.
They're honestly fine. There's nothing particularly bad about them.
Okay, Skydeck is a bop.
Scrolling levels basically exist because of arcades, and it's one of those things that.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, I like noped.
.png.
That is the weirdest way to intro a level. Oh my gosh.
I love it. It's so like Sonic-y.
Oh god, please stop.
It's my stream. I'll raise the pitch to depth-defying levels if I want.
Oh no.
Now stop.
Can you not be you?
Did you just tell me can I not be me?
No, you asked if you could orgasm. Well, I get it.
Let's avoid terms like that just because I want it to be to a degree child friendly.
This is a Christian server, so no swearing.
No, out of respect for PCO, I don't think I want to tarnish his image, or the stage's image with that shit.
With the Bazbear, like,
Fair enough.
Videos.
Brock, what are you talking about?
Although to be completely fair, we've all kind of like been swearing up a storm anyway.
No, okay, the F word I feel is a bit different to like sexual terms. It's just the fact, you know, swearing is alright as long as it's not
What if
too.
you say bloody?
You're about 6 ways from Sunday.
I think swearing is alright as long as it's in moderation, but I really don't like using terms like the, you know, genitals and that sort of shit.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. I mean, it's all relative.
I'm cool with it. I'm alright, but it's just a matter of this isn't my channel. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be breaking any rules because I know a few of the mods just don't like that shit.
That is an excellent point. Although I will say as well, what you can do if you are concerned about the stream content, YouTube does include a way to cut stuff out.
No, I'm alright. It's good. I trust you. I trust you won't say the words, so I don't need to worry about that.
I won't. I do apologize.
You guys are big boy adults. You all know when there's a certain time to say things. You know, it's not really that hard.
If you do say them and ignore me, then I'll just disconnect you. It's not like a massive deal or anything.
I do apologize.
No, it's cool. You understand where you went wrong. You don't need to apologize.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't say words like scrungus.
Scrungus is alright.
Can you say bloody?
Bingy. Bingy is alright. Scrungus is alright.
What's a scrungus?
It's just a funny word. Like,
yeah, it's
scrungus.
It doesn't even have a meaning. It's a nonsense word.
It sounds like something I'd hear on Rick and Mortar.
Rick and Mortar.
Rick and Morty?
No, I said
Rick and Mortar.
Hey, Static. Do you want to come to my Big Chungus birthday party on Saturday? I'm gonna have Five Nights at Freddy's gift bags for everyone. It's gonna be.
Can I come?
Yeah, you can come. It's gonna be awesome.
I will only come.
Is Tommy gonna be there?
Yeah, Tommy's gonna be there.
Yeah, Tommy and his dog Sunkissed?
Yeah, and Timmy. Timmy's gonna be there.
The Half-Life VR streams, there's a character named Tommy and he has a dog Sunkissed.
I wish the monkey bar system in Adventure was more like Crash's, because it's just boring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wish many things in Sonic were like Crash.
I wish Sonic was Crash.
I mean, Crash is Sonic's answer.
Yeah,
Sonic and
like,
Crash are my two favorite franchises.
Was kind of, I find it hilarious that that was literally the code name for the design of everything.
Yeah, Crash is Sonic's the Sonic ass.
Oh, that's not even the best part. They're in the game's code. Y'all know about obj underscore, right?
Motherfucker.obj.
OBJ underscore motherfucker.
Hold on, wait,
No. I think you're going the wrong way. Yeah, you're going the wrong way.
Yeah. The stream's a little bit delayed because I live in Shabland.
When Sonic tells his friends to go kiss his ass.
So they're telling you that they should play Crash games instead. You know what?
Yeah.
Sonic cares about his fan base. Let nobody say anything differently. He knows, hey, play a better game.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I do Static's interview, I'll play Crash then, because I'm really getting sick of playing Sonic games.
Yes. Just please.
I'll play Krong Bandicoot.
And if and when you do my interview, which you probably never will, you'll just play like some terrible Flash game you find on Newgrounds.
Are you famous?
If I'm gonna
No.
If I'm gonna be in an interview, I'm gonna play Oddworld Dave's Odyssey.
I'm gonna be real. I'm only kind of interviewing like either mods or like really profound people in the community. I'm not saying you guys aren't cool people. It's just, you know.
Who knows what's gonna happen in a few weeks?
Okay, hold on, stop. I was only joking.
I know, but like some people are like low-key being a little serious about it. Like I've had people, Rummy, I think Rummy asked me, I don't know if it was Rummy, but someone asked me if they could be in like a guest, and I was like, oh look dude, no.
Like, look dude, you're cool and all, and we'll chat.
No, it wasn't Rummy, actually, it wasn't Rummy.
Yeah, because that doesn't strike me as something Rummy would do.
No, Rummy's cool. Oh yes, boss fight, rival fights.
Look, ultimately, Gerbil has the final say. It's his stream, so...
It is.
Yeah, I'm gonna interview, myself.
Interview yourself? It's time to late.
Bro, I can't wait.
Question in 5 seconds later.
You know what? My channel already has more subs than this channel, so, yeah, haha.
Well,
do you even remember the login for that channel?
I'm using it right now.
Oh.
I can't. Oh. Where do I go? Alright, we're done Skydeck. So I'm just gonna end it there because quite frankly I'm sick of adventure. I'm all adventured out.
Fucking hell, why did I have to say idiot? Why is my humor so stupid? God damn it.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you next week with hopefully either Miyazaki or Static. It'll probably be Static, and if it's not Static, Static will be the week after. So tune into then. Thank you all for watching. Gerbil out.